This is not a valid menu orange. Condition orange. Situation delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is April 7th, 2021, and you are listening to the man who sits in front of a license plate that says, "What is 47?" What is 47? And today's April 7th, 47. And again, this was the number that I saw again and again in the news, and I just wondered what it was all about for so many years. I saw it in TV shows, movies. I said, what is it all about? And, you know, it's all these years later, and it's April 7th, and one of the news headlines all throughout the mainstream today was a CNN and MSNBC contributor died unexpectedly at age 47. And when I learned Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, things started to make sense real fast. I noticed the word news equaled 47, for example. News, 47. And for 10 years prior to finding this word Gematria, I was saying, why do they keep putting 47 in news stories? They even put it in movies and TV shows. And it has a lot more to do with just the number 47 has a lot more to do than just with the word news. And again, for all of you who followed the presidential campaign with Trump and Biden, you heard it said multiple times by Trump. He'd say, I've done more in 47 months than you've done in 47 years. And he was talking to Biden. And if you followed me, I've talked about 47 a million different ways in regards to Trump and otherwise. And again, in Gematria, all of these words equal 47. Government, authority, president, White House, Republican, Democrat. Trump was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel the night of the selection in 2016. And after Biden's in D.C. for 47 years, he becomes the president as a walking, talking joke, truly senile. A big mockery on we the people, where every day we have headlines contrived by a code as part of our programming, and then you learn this coding of letters and numbers behind the stories, and things really start to make sense. I mean, this story would have killed me 10 years ago, because I would have been just starting to notice this 47 thing. I'd have been like, come on, it's April 7th, and a woman's dead at 47. That just seems too bizarre. A newswoman, I keep seeing that number in the news. And remember, it was just a couple months ago we were talking about this. Catherine Craig of NBC died at 47, and she died on her 47th day of being 47 years old. Another news personality in New York. She was born December 26th, died February 10th. Her 47th day of being 47. So, anyway, you're listening to the Gematria Effect. I'm Zachary K. Hubbard. Again, if you've never tuned in before, we're here every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. to midnight out east. And we got great listeners all over. There's a gentleman out there. His name's Matt. I open up my mailbox today. I just got to say this. Shout out to Matt. I open up this box. He made T-shirts for the Signs Matter campaign. He donated cash. And he gave me some of the world's hottest Carolina Reaper peppers. So I'll have to see what that's all about. And just very cool. So grateful for the audience, grateful for the people who contribute by sharing videos and doing nice things like what Matt did today. And, Yeah, it's just very cool. So it all started with asking the question a long time ago, what's up with numbers in the news and why do I keep seeing 47 everywhere? And here we are all these years later. I started asking that question in the early 2000s probably. Something about numbers and news and the number 47 everywhere. But like we just mentioned a second ago, you know, the word president equals 47, and you might have heard another big headline today about Joe Biden, the president. Tomorrow, he's going to announce executive actions on gun control, and he's going to target ghost guns. He's getting a street education today on ghost guns, but I'd encourage you to read about it yourself. And what's funny about this is if you've been following the work I've been doing all year and for many years, but in the time of Biden, I've been just showing how many times they're doing rituals with the same number with Biden and gun control. And that number is 139 because, of course, in Gematria, gun control equals 139. Well, tomorrow, Biden's going to make his big executive action 139 days after his birthday. 139, you guys. Remember, Parkland equals 139 on the anniversary of the Parkland shooting. He said this would be happening when they were swearing in his attorney general, Garland. They asked him about gun control. He said gun control's coming. Again, this is just out in the open. Baylor. Did you guys catch this about the Baylor team? Elgin Baylor died at age 86. He went to the Jesuit Seattle University in Washington State, and then Baylor beats the other Jesuit university, Gonzaga, in Washington State. And it's unique that there's two Jesuit universities in Washington, which isn't all that big of a state. Remember, George Washington's the first recognized president in Jesuit Georgetown, and Georgetown is named after him, which is the first Jesuit university. But there's two Jesuit universities in Washington State, and there's only 27 in the nation. So, you know, that's about one for every two states, but Washington State has two just in one state, and it's not that big of a state. But Elgin Baylor went to Seattle U, Jesuit. Baylor defeats Gonzaga with 86 points, and Elgin Baylor died at age 86. And remember, 45 years ago, Indiana had the last perfect season going 32-0. They won their game 45 years earlier with 86 points. And this Monday's game was on 4-5, and Bears equals 45. And they'd been in the championship 73 years earlier, and Baylor equals 73, so does perfect 73. And they stopped Gonzaga's perfect season, which was a celebration for Indiana, where the championship was. But at the same time, Baylor had their own perfect ritual. They got their 28th win of the season, and 28 is the second perfect number. If you don't know what perfect numbers are, they're the numbers where its divisors add up to the number itself. So, for example, the first perfect number is 6. The numbers that divide into 6 are 1, 2, and 3. If you had 1 plus 2 plus 3, it's 6. The next perfect number is 28, and the divisors of 28 are 1, 2, 4, 7, 14. You add up those numbers, it's 28. The next perfect number is 496, and then it's 8,000 and something. What's interesting is in Jewish gematria, Texas equals 496, and Baylor's in Texas, of course. And if you noticed, the Final Four, they played Houston, also of Texas, and the game started at 2:14, like Valentine's Day when Texas froze over. Anyway, I mean, who starts the game at 2:14? But the other thing about Baylor is they finished the year 28-2. 28-2. That's the day of the Waco siege in 93, which had a lot to do with guns and Big Brother grabbing guns. And remember, the next year, 94, which was the year of Joe Biden's crime bill, that was the year that the assault weapons ban happened on September 13th, 13/9, on the back of the Waco stories. You know, these crazy religious lunatics with their guns out there, you know. And then that becomes a national narrative and an excuse for why Big Brother should be able to disarm you. God forbid some people want to go out and be left alone on the land and be able to defend themselves if somebody wants to infringe on their way of life. You know what I mean? But the government sells that story to the masses, and, you know, and these weirdos out here, because of that, we got to make some laws so that can't happen again. And that's kind of what government is. Government is just like really like the devil, just like going through, fooling everybody, manipulating everybody, spinning the truth about everything. And look how many people are so beholden to it. I've always found it interesting how many people are like religious and they like worship God and Jesus, but then they also like worship their flag and their country. It's like, don't you see that one is in direct contradiction with the other? A lot of people don't see that somehow. But anyway, Biden tomorrow, 139 days after his birthday with the gun control. And again, we just keep hammering this pattern. We were doing it long before Biden was president. We were doing it before Trump was president. We've been pointing out these same patterns for all these years straight, you know? And by the way, tomorrow will also be 78 days after Biden became president. Remember, he's 78 years old. Remember, I made a video that was about 2.5 minutes long. Well, it was whenever the very first time that the 1.9 trillion stimulus thing came up. That was on Biden's 78th day of being 78 years old, and I was talking about how the Jesuit motto, order out of chaos, is 78, and Jesuit's 78, and Wuhan coronavirus is 78. And I was explaining it was 1.9 trillion because chaos is 19, and that's why they work in 19-year cycles. And then that video, it actually did a lot better than most of my videos at any time recently. It was like the first video that seemed like it was somewhat of a success in a long time because it got up to like 30,000 views real fast. But then YouTube took down the video for medical misinformation. And I was like, what? The video's about why the 1.9 trillion stimulus is on the 78th day of Biden being 78 years old. Well, anyway, tomorrow when he does this thing about guns, it'll be 78 days after he became president. And if you were watching long before he won the election, I was showing all the rituals being done with Biden in 78 and what it represented, order out of chaos, the Jesuit motto, and light of him being the Jesuit puppet. But again, now the big gun control after all these gun control scares real fast. And anyway, tomorrow when he does this, it's 78 days after he became president, and it's April 8th, the date written 8/4 in the majority of the world, like 84. Remember, the word Jesuit equals 84 with the alphabetic order forwards, 78 in reverse. So on 8/4, 78 days after his birthday, Jesuit Joe from Jesuit Scranton, in the land where the Jesuits run the show by the numbers every day, by the same repetitive numbers we educate about again and again and again. I mean, it's just crazy how many times I said the same thing. And plus, now I got two books essentially saying the same thing over and over and just giving more and more examples. But it's like, where is the breakthrough for the other truth people in this community? That there's people in this community who I've done their interviews many times, and I think they're great people, but sometimes then I hear them like finally talk about the work, like in another show with another guest, and they're like, I think it's kind of interesting. And I'm like, but wait a minute, based on how many times I've come on your show, you only think it's kind of interesting, and that's all you have to bring up right now in light of what's going on with the specific story? I just don't get it with people. It's like, why is this subject so hard? It's elementary to measure from somebody's birthday to a date and say, okay, I know what that means because I've heard it a million times. Of course, it's 139 days after Joe Biden's birthday that he's doing these gun control things. Zach's been talking about gun control in 139 nonstop, and in the time of Biden, he's already had 10 new examples. And now this is just like, okay, where is everybody at? Where is everybody at? Here, I just want to make a point real quick. So I've had the mainstream take some stabs at me in the past, and this website, this isn't as big as USA Today, who's made fun of me, or Vice News, but here's this mainstream golf website, golfmagic.com. They wrote this article taking a shot at me on February 24th. But what the article was about is how I talked about how Tiger Woods equals 54 with the alphabetic order forwards and in reverse. And on the 54th day of the year, we heard about the Tiger Woods car crash. And I put out a video that day and I said, look, Masters Week begins Monday, April 5th, a date written 5/4. Tiger's Mr. Masters. This is clearly a ritual for the upcoming Masters. He's the GOAT right after Brady wins the Super Bowl and the GOAT ritual. And we were just about what happened with DMX and LL Cool J in the song 4321 with the GOAT reference, and DMX and his GOAT blood for his second album, and just all this ritual all year. We've been talking about all this. But the point that this guy wrote his article, and you can read it, you can look it up, Golf Magic, YouTuber makes video suggesting Tiger Woods car crash is fake. So he writes essentially that I'm a crazy person and that this is just like so dumb, and he has no doubt that the news is true. He believes the news. He uses the word believe, the word with lie right in the middle. But again, today, the Tiger Woods car crash news comes out, right? The day before the Masters begins. Today, for those not following, today, April 7th, they put out the reason for Tiger Woods' car crash. And the story is that he meant to hit the brakes, but he accelerated and he punched it up to 83 miles per hour, lost control and wrecked. Now, seriously, 83 miles per hour. The Masters that Tiger last won, which we predicted before it happened, just like we called last year's Masters dead on who'd be the winner before it happened, 2 years in a row before the Masters even began, we had the winner correct, which are facts, just like we've done a lot for sports. But Tiger Woods, they said he punched it to 83. He won the Masters in 2019, which was the 83rd Masters, right? And then they put out the story today, April 7th, which is the 97th day of the year. When did Tiger win his first Masters? In 97. That was the big clue for why he won it in 2019, because that was 22 years later. And in Gematria, golf equals 22, so does Woods. 22 is the master builder number. It's the Masters. And he'd won his last major 11 years before 2019. The master numbers are 11 and 22. So there couldn't have been any more masterful ritual for Tiger to win it in 2019. There was also something with his birthday and it being the 83rd. But again, that today on the 97th day of the year when he won his first Masters in 97, they come out with the cause one day before the Masters tournament begins. And again, they say he punched it to 83 miles per hour instead of hitting the brakes. And can you imagine making that mistake? I mean, you'd have to be super intoxicated to be doing stuff like that. I mean, anybody who drives knows that. But, and then I loved how they said it was a 45 mile per hour, and he's 45 years old right now, and Ritual's 45, and Green Jacket's 45, and Augusta's 45. This whole thing is clearly a ritual for the Masters. And, again, just for people to write these articles. Oh, by the way. Today, the day the cause comes out, it's 43 days after the crash. Tiger last won the Masters at age 43, which was another reason we liked it, because 43 is the 14th prime and golf is 14. So, again, an article's written calling me crazy, and then about that there's no way that this could be connected to the Masters. And then just look, every last detail about it screams Masters and Tiger's history in the Masters. So, again, the news media is here to lie to you and discredit the truth. And notice what's happened online in the last, ever since pretty much 2017. They phased out independent voices. YouTube is now corporate news tube, where almost every video for every topic that you search for, you get a bunch of mainstream news suggestions first before you hear from the individuals what YouTube used to be about. YouTube used to be escaping the TV. Now it's become the TV. And how often do you watch like your favorite YouTubers' videos? You know, 5 years ago it would have went to their next video. Now it cuts over to NBC Nightly News or ABC News. I mean, it's just such a joke. It's like, this is not what I want to watch. Not at all. So, oh yeah, and then one more thing before we go to our first call. Also in the news today, DMX tests positive for coronavirus. I mean, are you serious? He's in a vegetative state. Supposedly from a severe overdose. And if you missed the work I did on DMX, again, check it out. One of his breakout songs, he was a feature on a LL Cool J song called 4321, like a countdown. And on 4/3/21, like 4321, we get the story about DMX being in a vegetative state. It reportedly happened to him at 11 p.m. the night prior on 4/2. If you missed our interview this past week with Shaba of the Panther 21, who was indicted on April 2nd in 69, go back and check out that interview. Very well-spoken man, good energy. Gave us some historical insight in what it was like to be part of a big national news story and falsely accused and lose 2.5 years of his life in prison. And then essentially the federal government just said, whoops, guess it was all bogus, but no apologies and just 2.5 years of your life lost. But that happened on 4/2. Again, if you're new here, we talk about 42 and things like why Jackie really wore 42 and what's really in that number and what's its meaning. Again, that's the beauty of studying this knowledge, Gematria, is you learn the meaning of things that are put in front of your face that you're not expected to understand each day. You know, like if nobody had ever come to you and showed you how gun control equals 139 and they do all these rituals with it, would you understand the significance of Joe Biden doing gun control action tomorrow, 139 days after his birthday? And again, the point in this work is to help people get out of the two-party divide. This same type of stuff went on in the time of Trump. It went on in Obama. It went on in Biden. It went on in the Bushes, the Clintons. It's been going on a long time. They've been doing rituals by a code for a very long time. Secret knowledge practiced by secret societies. Don't forget with the most simple cipher, Freemasonry is also 139. That's the 34th prime. The word free is 34. America, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, is 139. And one of the things that really makes us a unique nation at this point in history is that we still have the right to bear some arms here. You know, most countries have totally lost that right, and that's why a lot of the world looks up to the U.S. and says, you know, that's the last country. For all the people who see that the world's under tyranny, a lot of people look to America and think America is the last domino that just can't tip. Those people, someday they're going to, I mean, some people need that glimmer of hope. The U.S. falls and gives up its weapons and essentially has absolutely no way to fight back against, truly a nation run by tyrants that are in control of the military and police. I mean, we'll be looking like Myanmar. People trying to fight back against militaries that have guns and they don't. And by the way, here's another thing about Myanmar. Some of the states, there's 7 states in Myanmar. Some of the states have like a strong militia. So they have like considered like a local military for their militia. They're the ones right now where their people are getting killed the least, by the way. And that's another real thing about Myanmar. Like if you look up Kachin State in Myanmar, they have the most developed militia type military and they have the least problems on their soil right now that the other military is overthrown. You know, they're going to the easier targets, the people who are more disarmed, the people who have pretty much no way to fight back. They don't want to risk their troops in Kachin State where people are armed and they have a trained militia. These are things we need to be thinking about in the U.S. right now, you know, looking at the direction we're heading. So, our gentleman, I'm sure, will call in tonight about nationalassembly.org. And again, we need to figure out more ways to organize and get connected with the people in our community. So, okay, I'm going to go out to the first calls. And again, when I do out to the calls, if you guys can keep it real concise, one great thought, one great question, not ramble into a whole bunch of topics. Again, not too many numbers. Too many numbers is just too much without a visual on the screen. And we'll get through a lot of people. So I realized the one thing I forgot to do. Bear with me 1 second. Got to set up one more thing so I can access the call board here. It's a little interface I have to go through to see who's phoning in. And I see I didn't quite complete that process. But okay, Rambo's at the top. We'll go to him right after the break. Let's go out to Texas.
Yo, Zach. Oh, man.
Yeah, how you doing?
Not too bad, man. I'm calling in because I just wanted to share something that I stumbled upon regarding this whole DMX incident, and I thought it was very interesting to bring up. I posted this on Free to Find Truth a few days ago. My account name is Neo the Hacker, and if you scroll down a few posts, you should be able to find it. But it's a link to an article titled DMX Explodes in Court Saying My Rights Are Being Violated. Now, this article was posted as well as a video by TMZ back in 2010 of DMX being pissed off in court saying that he wasn't being treated fairly. So what stood out to me right away was that in the video, DMX was wearing a Detroit Lions jersey with the number 34 on it, which is the date the news broke about his overdose, the day that can be written as 3/4. So at first I thought, okay, well, maybe that might have been a coincidence, but then I looked further into it, and I highly doubt that it's a coincidence now. And the reason I say that is because the jersey that DMX was wearing, it's a former Detroit Lions player named Kevin Smith. Now, at the time DMX was wearing that jersey, Kevin Smith was 24 years old during that time, which is the day DMX overdosed, a date that can be written as 2/4. Also, the name Smith itself stems to 24. Now, what's crazy is Kevin Smith, he's currently 34 years old right now during the time DMX overdosed, corresponding with the date the news broke about DMX, which is a date that can be written as 3/4. Now, coming back to the article itself, it was posted by TMZ on March 10th, 2010, which has 43 date numerology. And again, that's the day the news broke about DMX 4/3. Now, in the article, it states that the incident at the courthouse took place the day before, which would have been March 9th, 2010, and that has a 42 date numerology, and that corresponds with the day DMX overdosed 4/2. Now, coming back to this Kevin Smith guy, he was drafted into the NFL by the Detroit Lions during the 3rd round, just like how the news about DMX came on the 3rd day of the month. And Kevin Smith no longer plays for the NFL. Instead, he joined the Canadian football team called Blue Bombers, which has a gematria of 42, connecting with the day DMX overdosed 4/2, as well as DMX's real name being Earl Simmons, and the last name Simmons equals 42 as well. And just on a side note, DMX stands for Dark Man X, which has a gematria of 130 and 49.
Doesn't have
Kevin
86.
Smith equals 130.
By the way, Kevin Smith's 34 years old right now, too. And don't forget, on that same day, there was the shooting in Wilmington, which is on the 34th parallel, and they said 3 dead, 4 injured. They're going crazy with the 34, and murder's 34. I see Kevin Smith's 34 years old right now, too. So
Exactly, yep. And that corresponds with the day the news broke about DMX, the 3/4. And then DMX stands for Dark Man X, which has a gematria of 130 and 49. And Kevin Smith equals 130 and 49 as well. And mind you, Kevin Smith was not even like a star player on the team during that time. In fact, his career in the NFL only lasted 5 seasons. So it's an odd jersey to wear with that specific player, especially when DMX is not even from Detroit. So yeah, that's all I had on that. I just thought it would be interesting to share.
Well, Detroit,
shed light on that
again, remember, Detroit has the Motown connection, so music and just history of what's going on, and again, a lot of stuff's bloodlines. It's like, let's figure out DMX's family ancestry. Did he ever have anyone who was connected to Motown? But Motown came out in 59, and Detroit's on the 42nd parallel. Oh, we got commercial. We'll be right back, everybody. Commercial.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Live Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Jacob Frank Leibovich is the mastermind behind a global network of satanic cults. He taught that the creator God was evil. Jacob Frank proclaimed himself as the true Messiah. He vowed never to tell the truth. He rejected every moral law and declared that the only way to a new society was through the total destruction of civilization. Murder, rape, incest, and the drinking of blood were perfectly acceptable actions and rituals. His followers established the Marxist system and have infiltrated Islam and Judaism. He was the Messiah of the Illuminati. EnigmaTV.com.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
All right, we're back, True Seeker. Again, if you're new here, there are commercials on Wednesday nights for TFR, and I have to mute out the music so it doesn't take us down for copyright. It is Rambo's time to shine, but before we go to him, other caller, Neo the Hacker, doing awesome work, and he didn't get to finish his thought. We got interrupted by the break, so I'm going to let him finish, and then Rambo will have as much time as he needs. But right here, this gentleman, too, is going to be another... He already is. He's already a great contributor. But he reminds me of Rambo. There was a time when Rambo was new and Rambo was doing great things right away. This Neo the Hacker, I don't think I've seen him around for so long. Time really does fly. But in the time he's been here, he's been making really great decodes. And I see he's using Free to Find Truth in an awesome way. He's essentially, just posting the same way I am and decoding stuff and... maybe even doing a better job than I am. So let's get back to this man and let him finish his thought, and then we will talk to Rambo. All right, friend, you're on.
Well, Zach, I definitely appreciate the well thoughts, man. That means a lot. But all I was just gonna say was that I was actually wrapping up that the jersey he was wearing. It's odd for him to wear that because Kevin Smith was not even a star player on the team. So it's especially with DMX not being from Detroit, I mean, that's just odd to wear. And on top of that, I don't even think these guys pick out their own outfits, man. I'm pretty sure they have, like, a wardrobe stylist that tells them, what to wear and where to wear it. And, I'm pretty sure that's what happened in this case. But, yeah, that's really all I have for you.
Yeah, it's a bit. I appreciate it. Great work as always. But it does seem that their lives are very staged, managed, and they don't even get to pick out their clothes. I agree, and I'm just imagining what that would be like as an adult. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure their life is controlled from top to bottom. I mean, everything they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep up the good work, friend. I definitely notice what you're doing, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Take care. Yeah, people always say things like, Zach, what if they kill you? Then what will happen to the work? Well, I say there's people like Neo the Matrix, man. Or Neo the Hacker. Neo the Hacker's already doing it, man. He's already doing it. And people like Rambo are already doing it. There's a lot of people doing it now. So I think the work would just get bigger if that happened. Not that I want that to happen, but if something happened to me, I feel like the work's out there. I did my job of spreading the work to the world, and now there's enough capable people who have it in their hands already to spread it on. That's how I feel. So let me see. What did I do here? Let's get back to Rambo now. It's a true crime to delay Rambo's time. But again, Rambo, welcome back, friend, and you have as much time as you need. If you need the whole next segment, you got it.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thanks again.
Always. Yeah, thanks for being here.
I've had an issue with the website. Some of my older posts, all the screenshots have been erased.
Okay, I don't mess with any of it. I know how it will be fixed. When they backed up the website, they had to back up the website. For some reason, it screwed up a lot of the older pictures, but he says if I can point to which ones it is, he knows how to recover them. So I will tell him to go through the Rambo's... Is there specific posts where it's worse than others?
Yeah, in fact, I have some posts in the draft folder. I haven't even published them yet. I have one major post, pretty long post in the draft folder, and every single screenshot is erased from it.
Maybe in the draft somehow it does it even worse, because I've noticed how on some of my older posts the photo's missing, and then a lot of them I've been able to figure out what it was supposed to be there and replaced it. But there's some things where I'm like, dude, what did I have there? I'm not sure what it was. But I asked him, and he said if I identify that, I can send the links to him, and he knows how to replace them. So I can let him know that it's in your drafts folder. Does it have like a title in it?
No, it's some of them are in my drafts folder, and some of them are older posts. Yeah, I actually got one of the in the comments section. Somebody contacted and said, what's going on? Why are the pictures deleted?
Yeah, so
trying to read one of my older posts. Yeah.
The good news is because of what they've done, that will now never happen again. Because now it just he set up something so it automatically backs up. So that won't happen again, but the day that they backed it up, that's what happened. It knocked out some of the older photos, and it sounds like in your drafts, for whatever reason, it got rid of all of them, it must be something about it being in drafts. But
no, it wasn't just draft. It's also published articles as well.
But I bet
it's literally hundreds of pictures.
Oh, so God, I haven't seen any. Like I've seen posts where like one photo's missing, but the rest are still there. You're saying like certain ones it took out every photo? Oh well, I'll tell the website team because
he's hundreds of photos that are
Okay, I'll tell the website. That's weird that would happen so much in your section. I noticed it happened in my older posts too, but not all of them. That's crazy. I'll let them know, and I'll just say go through the Rambo's corner and just look.
I use a lot of pictures.
Yeah. I will notify him of that, and yeah, the good news is it won't happen again now that they have it set up the way it is. So I wish it had been that way from the beginning, but yeah, I will let him know and see what he can do.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I wanted to talk, like last week I talked about the Suez Canal ritual, and I said there was more. I had more. I mean, I could have done 4 hours. And plus, there are members of the community who are very brilliant, very helpful, who just expanded it even more. So this is, I mean, I could do a whole week on this thing, several weeks. And plus, there was a new development yesterday. I didn't even see this coming. I was going to continue on my decode from last week. There was a new development. There was another ship stranded in the Suez Canal yesterday. But I just wanted to mention real quick, as we've been talking about this year, especially with sports, has been the year of the GOAT. There's been a lot of GOAT rituals. It actually started near the end of last year, where one of the GOATs of, for those who don't know, in sports, GOAT stands for greatest of all time. One of the GOATs of soccer, football, Diego Maradona, died near the end of last year. So that's actually where it started. And then you talked about it extensively. Right. With Tiger Woods, and then Wayne Gretzky's father, he's a GOAT of hockey. His father died of Parkinson's, and Parkinson's is a reference to Muhammad Ali because he's the most famous face of Parkinson's.
Right.
So it's with the exception of Tom Brady, this has not been a good year for GOATs. The other GOAT of soccer is Pele. And now what's interesting is there's been a lot of volcanic eruptions this year. In Iceland, volcanoes have gone off. Mount Etna in Italy has been going off. Well, actually, Pele is actually the name of a Hawaiian volcano goddess. So that's actually the name. Pele is actually related to volcanoes also. And also Pele, the soccer player, he got a vaccine for coronavirus, which that's not positive. But also, he had the record for most goals scored. He had a goal-scoring record, and he was passed last month by Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal. He's Portuguese. He just passed Pele. So Pele, he's no longer number one in goal-scoring. So that's another example of the GOAT ritual has not been positive for GOATs except for Tom Brady. There's a story where UConn's the women's basketball player, Paige Beckers, they started throwing the GOAT word at her. She's only 19 years old. I think it was Suggs, I think of Gonzaga, I think he's from Minnesota or something. I think it was him he called her the GOAT, and then they publicized that in the media. And Diana Taurasi, she's considered the GOAT of the WNBA, she said, yeah, Paige Beckers is better than she was at that age. Well, right when they called her the GOAT, she lost. A big upset. So GOAT has not been... just put an update on the GOAT, because GOAT will continue to be a theme. I mean, they're throwing it at a 19-year-old. I mean, come on. But it is like a curse because she lost right after they thrown the gold right at her. So, yeah, that's something to watch. So I guess the next GOAT, which everyone's focusing on, is Serena Williams. And will she get that record? And so, yeah, I just wanted to say that only one GOAT seems to be going positively for, and that's Tom Brady. Everybody else, GOAT is a curse. So, yeah, back to this canal ritual. My most recent post covered the epic ritual of the Ever Given container ship getting stuck in the Suez Canal on March 23rd this year. This was an epic and multi-layered ritual at a sacred historical site. The Sinai Peninsula is a sacred site and historical. Next to ancient Egypt, it's a major world center. So the Ever Given was refloated on March 29th, but just 9 days later, which is April 6th, which is yesterday, another merchant ship halted traffic through the Suez Canal. Now, this incident was much more brief, so it didn't cause major disruption, but nonetheless, it was part of an ongoing ritual. So on Tuesday, April 6, 2021, the oil tanker Rumford, it's registered to Italy, and Rumford doesn't sound like an Italian name, but the oil tanker is registered to Italy, named Rumford, had to be towed by a tugboat. They say the engine gave out. Another ship also had some problems, which is behind the Rumford. That also was a minor delay that it caused, but nonetheless, it is a follow-up blockage to the canal. And that was a Greek oil tanker that was behind the Rumford. Its name was Minerva Nike. So plenty of symbolism there. As I've often stressed, the Roman Empire never died. It only changed its facade. Part of its facade is the United States government that has its seat of power on Capitol Hill, just as Rome's seat of power was on Capitoline Hill. That is a brief example of how the United States is part of the New Rome. Capitoline Hill is a sacred site that also venerated the chief deities of the Roman Empire, known as the Capitoline Triad, which consisted of Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. Jupiter is Zeus to the Greeks. The name of the canal pays homage to Jupiter / Zeus. Suez is Zeus, spelled backwards. The April 6th oil tanker incident pays further homage to the Capitoline Triad with the name of the ship Minerva. That name is also significant to the Bavarian Illuminati because their initiates at the apprentice level, the initiate level, they were called Minervals. So that, and the symbol is an owl. We see a lot of owl symbolism. I've talked about that, and that's a whole decode unto itself. But here again, it's the owl symbol which has come up in multiple incidents. I last talked about it at the Nashville, Tennessee Christmas Day bombing, where it occurred on the street with a Hooters restaurant, and they have an owl as its symbol. So, yeah, it's an ongoing theme, the owl. Well, that's a reference to Minerva, one of the Capitoline Triad. Example that the Roman deities are still being venerated. So the logo for Minerva Marine, which is the company that I think they were chartering the ship. I don't know if they own it or charter it, but it features an owl in their logo. So that removes any doubt that it might be another Minerva. No, this is the Minerva they're referring to. So Rome is the new Babylon. So the gods of Rome are inherited from Babylon. It's the same gods. And Babylon inherited those gods from ancient Sumer. So the gods of ancient Sumer are still being venerated today. Specifically, the gods who prevailed in the War of the Gods, led by chief deity Enlil, who is Elil in Babylon. To Babylon, they call him Elil. He was originally in Sumer called Enlil. But that is also Zeus, who the canal is named after, to Greece, and Jupiter to Rome. The sin in Sinai, the Suez Canal cuts to part of the top of the Sinai Peninsula. Sin is the name of a son of Enlil, the moon god Sin. So the lineage of Enlil is still being venerated. Enlil had other sons who were second and third in command to himself. Since ancient gods are aligned with planets, Enlil is aligned with Jupiter. His son, Ninurta, also known as Ningirsu, is his second in command after Enlil. And Ninurta Ningirsu represents the planet Mars. Ninurta is a warrior and a farmer, just as the Roman god Mars is a warrior and a farmer. Rome got it from Sumer originally. Wikipedia associates Ninurta with Saturn, but multiple parties more accurately associate Ninurta with Mars. I mean, Wikipedia says that there are multiple scholars who say, or even just researchers who say, no, Ninurta is Mars, not Saturn. He's described exactly the same as Mars is. Enlil has another son. This is his third in command. His name is Nergal, or Nirgal, who is also a warrior. And he also represents the planet Mars. So he has two sons that represent Mars. That's Ninurta and Nergal. Their distinction between Ninurta and Nergal is made through the zodiac. The planet Mars rules the signs of Aries and Scorpio. Ningirsu or Ninurta is Mars in Aries. Nergal is Mars in Scorpio. And I show a picture of this is from Wikipedia, a relief from Mesopotamia showing Nergal, and you can see two scorpions on top of him and below him, and he's a warrior. So clearly that's a reference to Scorpio. So he is Mars in Scorpio. And Ninurta is Mars in Aries. So, yeah, Mars is the Roman god of war and the son of Jupiter. And Jupiter is Enlil. So it all lines up. The Suez Canal ship grounding rituals, one layer of it, there are multiple layers to it, but one of the layers is Mars, who is Ninurta and Nergal. Hillary Clinton's name came up in the decode. Clearly she was, for some reason, coded into it. Not for the reason QAnon says. I mean, maybe it is, but there's no proof so far. QAnon says there was child trafficking. So far, QAnon hasn't offered proof. Maybe there is, but until there's proof, you can't really say that's the reason. But she's clearly coded into the ritual. And the main element is the fact that the company named Evergreen, whose name was most vivid in the incident, Evergreen is Hillary Clinton's Secret Service code name. Also, the ship's call sign was H3RC, which contains Hillary Rodham Clinton's initials, HRC. Multiple news outlets use the same phrase, quote, "she's free," in reporting that the Ever Given was refloated. She's free is a super match in Gematria with Hillary on 3 out of 4 base ciphers. The Suez Canal Ever Given incident coincided with the Roman Hilaria festival. Hilaria sounds, same as Hillary. Well, the Hilaria festival was observed from March 22nd through March 25th, which coincides with exactly the time of the canal incident. The grounding of the Ever Given happened on March 23rd, in 2021, a date with 67 numerology. This is relevant to Hillary Clinton because she was the 67th United States Secretary of State. But the most significant fact about Hillary Clinton to this ritual is the fact that she is a Scorpio. And Scorpio represents Mars. This is a Mars ritual, and that's, as far as I can see, the main reason Hillary Clinton is coded into it. As I mentioned in my previous article, Mount Sinai, after which the Sinai Peninsula is named, is on the same parallel, the 28th parallel, as Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. You have the holiest mountain in the world and the tallest mountain in the world on the same parallel. What are the odds of that? So the person given credit for having been the first to climb to its summit is Edmund Percival Hillary, for another Hillary reference. Now, people named Percival, as he is, are nicknamed Percy. Percy is short for Percival. But Percy is also the nickname of NASA's Mars rover Perseverance. The rover Perseverance is also nicknamed Percy. Which is supposed to have landed on Mars on February 18th this year. That's in the news now, the Mars rover named Percy. Meanwhile, Edmund Percy Hillary is related to this. So there's more of the Mars coding through Hillary. Also, the current president of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, is a Scorpio, also born November 19th. What's an interesting last name, el-Sisi? Make you think of St. Francis of el-Sisi. That sounds, it does sound similar to that. I'm pretty sure that's not a coincidence. But yeah, he's the president of Egypt. It's a Scorpio, born November 19th. The Suez Canal was inaugurated in 1869 on a date in Scorpio on November 17th. So you could say that the Suez Canal itself is a Scorpio because that was his birthday, November 17th. And Mars is the god of war. The god of war in Gematria sums to 44 and 127. The inauguration day of the Suez Canal, November 17th, leaves 44 days in the year. From the most recent anniversary of the inauguration of the Suez Canal, you could say the Suez Canal's birthday, most recent birthday, November 17th, 2020, to the ever-given grounding, March 23rd, there's a 127-day span, counting all days, beginning and end. Again, 127, the Gematria of God of War. So, yeah, that lines up really well. And that's also how you see the multiple ciphers in Gematria being used in a ritual. With God of War being both 44 and 127, both those numbers coordinate with the dates. So as I stated earlier, Mars, the God of War, the Suez Canal, and this latest incident pay homage to Mars. Also note that Hillary Clinton's biggest political Achilles heel was her support as a New York senator for the 2003 Iraq War. So Hillary supported the 2003 Iraq War. Is a key position that distinguished.
Rambo, I was just going to say, the God of War 127 I never noticed before. And it just makes me think of how on 9/11 it was buildings 1, 2, and 7, and that was called the New Pearl Harbor, and Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th, 127. And then I remember Suez Canal's 102, like World Wars 102 and Art of Wars 102, translated by the Jesuits. And again, the blockage ended 102 days after the Pope's birthday. So I just had to share my thought on that 127 there. And don't forget, 9/11, they said the attack lasted 102 minutes, and it was simulated on June 1st, 102 days before the attack, on a federal, printout with Osama bin Laden's face on the cover sheet. So that God of War is really interesting. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and 9/11 happened on a Tuesday.
That's right. The day of the week named after Mars, the God of War. Yeah, that goes together really well.
Yeah. Yes, and you have to look, where does this go back to? God of War, according to Rome, but where did Rome get it from? Rome got it goes back to Babylon, which got it from Sumer. It all goes back to Sumer. This is Ningisu and Nergal, who are the two sons of Enlil, who represent Mars, so represent Aries and Scorpio. I mean, whether these are actual physical entities or just entities who identify that, or they're just using the zodiac, and these are just symbols of the zodiac. You can it's up to somebody to determine what they think that is, but they are clearly using the Sumerian gods for the rituals that we see today. So Hillary is being a Scorpio ruled by Mars. it turns out that her Achilles heel politically has been her support for the 2003 Iraq War. Like her position supporting the war distinguished her from Barack Obama in the 2008 Democratic Party presidential election. Where that was, they're pretty much identical on every issue except for that. That's part of the one thing that separated him from Hillary was, he wasn't in office, so it's easy to be anti-war when you're not in, a major office. He wasn't the senator at the time, so it was easy. And same with Donald Trump. He wasn't in office either. Donald Trump was outspoken against the war, but again, he wasn't in office either. It's easy to be against the war when you're out of office. So Obama and Trump were anti-war, and they both used that against Hillary Clinton when they ran against her. And that's been her biggest Achilles heel in preventing her from being president, was her support for the war. How appropriate for a Scorpio.
Right.
So, yeah. So the Suez Canal, more associated with the realm of war. And for this, I have to give credit to Anthony C. Davison. He's in the UK. Very brilliant decoder. I put a link on his name. His name links to his Twitter. He has very good decodes on Twitter. He's also on Free to Find Truth platform. He's very brilliant. Anthony C. Davison. He brought up this point. The Suez Canal, how the Suez Canal is associated with war, because in 1956, there was the Suez Crisis, also known as the Second Arab-Israeli War. And Gematria links the 2001 supertanker grounding, that's the Ever Given, called supertanker, with the Suez Crisis of 1956, the Second Arab-Israeli War.
Rambo, pause right there because the news is coming on. Quick break, everybody. We'll be right back.
All right.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/signup and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from dissent.
The cause of Tiger Woods' February car wreck is revealed. I'm Salji in Grasso, Fox News. Tiger Woods was going nearly 90 miles per hour, twice the posted speed limit, on a downhill stretch of road when he lost control of an SUV outside Los Angeles in February.
The primary causal factor for this traffic collision was driving at a speed unsafe for the road conditions and the inability to negotiate the curve of the roadway. Estimated speeds at the first area of impact were 84 to 87 miles per hour, and the final estimated speed when the vehicle struck the tree was 75 miles per hour. There were no citations issued, and there are no signs of impairment.
That's Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva. Woods has since been released from the hospital and is recovering from the accident. A use of force expert says former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck the entire time that he was handcuffed behind his back and lying face down.
Los Angeles Police Sergeant Jody Steiger, a paid state expert, being cross-examined by defense attorney Eric Nelson after Steiger told jurors Tuesday that force should not have been used on George Floyd while he was in the prone position and handcuffed.
If you are an officer and you hear a scuffle on the radio, you hear we're taking one out, and you get dispatched in an emergent situation, it's reasonable for an officer to come in with a heightened sense of alertness and awareness.
Absolutely. Jurors are looking for beyond a reasonable doubt as the state expects to continue calling witnesses and experts to the witness stand. Jeff Manasso, Fox News. President Biden will unveil a series of executive actions aimed at addressing gun violence tomorrow, and the president says he's open to compromise on infrastructure, but not in action. Not much movement one way or the other on Wall Street today as the Dow and S&P 500 notched modest gains and the Nasdaq fell slightly. America is listening to Fox News.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal. More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
All right, welcome back, True Seeker. It's the beginning of the second hour, meaning we got 2 hours left to show. We're taking your calls the rest of the way, but right now we got the always brilliant Rambo with us, and he was interrupted by the break. All right, we're back, friend.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So also Anthony C. Davison, who's a brilliant decoder, I linked his Twitter. He made the link of supertanker with Suez crisis. The Suez crisis was a war. So that links the link between the Suez and war. In Gematria, supertanker and Suez crisis have a super match across 3 out of 4 base ciphers. Now, what happened yesterday, the primary boat in the brief canal blockage, it was only like 10 minutes, but still happened, just 9 days after there was a huge blockage. We never heard of the canal being, all these years it was never blocked. Now it's blocked like twice in a 9-day period. But yes, the primary ship there was called Rumford, R-U-M-F-O-R-D. Rumford is a perfect match in all 4 base ciphers with Scorpio. This clinches it as a Mars/Scorpio plus Nergal, that's the Sumerian Mars god associated with Scorpio, ritual. The name of the ship lining up with Scorpio this perfectly. It's not a coincidence. That pretty much clinches it. But there are other elements. The fact that Tuesday is the day of the week named after Mars, as we just said, 9/11 happened on Tuesday. Tuesday is Mardi in French. In English it doesn't sound like war, but it's in Latin, so Romance language like French, Mardi. Yeah, Martes in Spanish. That's Tuesday, associated with Mars. Both the original March 23rd grounding of the Ever Given and yesterday's incident with the Rumford and the Minerva Nike, both those incidents happened on Tuesdays, Mars days. The original Ever Given grounding occurred in March, and March is named after Mars as well. Both the Ever Given grounding and the Rumford and Minerva Nike incidents occurred in the tropical zodiac sign of Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. One of the ships that blocked the canal, the Minerva Nike, we talk about Minerva, part of the Capitoline triad of Rome, Minerva, but Nike is a Greek goddess, after which the shoe company is named. But the Greek goddess Nike is sometimes described as the daughter of Ares. Ares in Greek sounds like that's where you get Aries. Is the equivalent of the Roman Mars. So Nike is actually a daughter of Mars, and that's the ship's name. The ship's named Nike. The other one's named Rumford, which lines up with Scorpio perfectly. I mean, is there any doubt this is a Mars ritual? So in Gematria, Mars has a value of 51, 57, and 15, primarily. Nergal, the name of the Sumerian Mars gods, Nergal comes to 57 and 105. 105 is like 15 in numerology. 0 has no value. Oil tanker also comes to 57, 105. Ningirsu, who's the other Mars god, associated with Aries. Ningirsu comes to 51 and 105. The Suez Crisis, the Second Arab-Israeli War, ended in 57. The date of the latest Suez Canal vessel blockage, which is yesterday, April 6th, 2021, has numerology of 51 and 15. These are all Mars numbers. 4 plus 6 plus 20 plus 21 is 51. Plus it also has 15 numerology. Also this date of April 6th leaves 269 days in the year. And 269 is the 57th prime number. Again, that's the big Mars number. So Tuesday, April 6th was a prime date for a Mars-related ritual. So, again, that's it for the decode, but there are more layers to this. It's pretty amazing ritual. And I keep getting input from brilliant, listeners, haulers, members of the community who keep finding more elements to it. So, yeah, this is just part of it.
Yes, and again, Anthony C. Davidson, who you brought up, he does do very good work, as does Neo the Hacker. They're both two of the best commenters. Whenever I see them leave a comment, it's always really good. So, anything else, Rambo?
No, there was a caller a couple weeks ago. He came near the end of the show, and he mentioned that he said the Tower of Babel was actually in Canada, because in Canada there's a mountain which is called the Tower of Babel. Now, at the time it didn't register, and he said there's a lot more that actually goes back to Canada, but is actually attributed to, I guess, the Middle East area. But I do wish that I don't know if that caller is listening. I wish he would elaborate on what he meant about Canada being associated with this, because now I'm starting to see a lot of things which seem to line up with Canada. So I'm pretty curious what that caller was what we're talking about. He talked about the Tower of Babel, which is a mountain in Canada, and he believes Canada is related to a lot of these ancient stories, which I'd like to hear more about of his theory, because I am seeing some Canada symbolism. So I don't know if he's listening. I'd like to hear more. Hopefully.
I'm sure. I'm sure he will call in now that he heard you say that. So that's great. I appreciate it, Rambo. Yeah. Awesome work as always, friend. You have a good night.
I appreciate you too. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you take care. And yeah, it was a bummer because when they back up the website, it did eliminate some pictures, but not all. But it sounds like for whatever reason it took a toll on Rambo. So I already sent them a message if they could look into that and fix that. Let's go out to Austin, Texas. What's going on, Austin? Austin, hello.
Excellent decode, Zach.
Well, thank you.
Rambo, excellent decode.
Yes, indeed.
You're crazy, like a fox.
Sure. How you been doing down there in Austin?
Oh, when that storm went through, that snow blizzard we had, I knew it was all weather manipulation, that Bill Gates has got his nasty, ugly hands all over also.
Right.
Hillary Rodham Clinton, I call her the mother of Lucifer, the mother of Satan.
She is just a horrible, wicked person. She is, man. So
the book, the Clinton Chronicles. You aware of that book?
Was that all the suspicious? Was that all the suspicious deaths connected to the Clinton family?
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
By Larry Nichols. Larry Nichols, their handler, the Clintons' handler.
Interesting. Okay.
For many years. Yeah, I mean, she oozes evil.
Yeah. I still remember in 2016 when she was running against Trump, there was a night where she kept hyping up to the children to just stay with her speech, stay with her speech. She had a special announcement for them at the end. And at the very end, I mean, I was thinking it's pretty late, like on the East Coast. She's having like all these young children just stay up all night to hear. And then she just like had these just like 2 short sentences, and there was nothing even inspiring about it. I was like, so she couldn't have said that early on. She had to keep the children up real late just to hear that uninspired message. I was like, what was that about? I mean, and then it's just, yeah, these people, man, they're wrong for all sorts of reasons. So
they're Satanists. They love evil. I would bet her life, there's no doubt about it, that she's involved in this child trafficking. There ain't no doubt about it. I would bet her life on it.
Sure. Well, they're into all sorts of evil. I mean, they got blood all over their hands, too. A lot of deaths in the world they're connected to. Their policies they supported.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it, and the people that bow to these scumbags that are just so stupid and ignorant. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We do. We live in the craziest of times. Well, I appreciate it, friend. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it through that crazy weather, and I appreciate you always calling in and supporting. Was there anything else you want to say tonight? Go ahead.
Just keep doing what you're doing, my friend. We the more popular you get, the more they will attack you, but you're protected.
Well, I appreciate that, and I don't plan on stopping. So you have a good night, friend. You take care.
All right. Yeah.
By the way, we are doing a lot of videos on Twitch now because we're getting censored so much on YouTube. If you search Gematria on Twitch, you'll find my channel. And they're mostly man on the corner campaigns, a man in a megaphone. And Meg's been with us lately. And today we got Meg, Lynn, and Tony to all stand with us. So there was a group of 4 of us on the corner for a while today, getting out the word about big agendas. But let's go out to Delaware. What's up, Delaware?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
Yeah, I just wanted to give some quick information on the whole DMX thing going on. Okay. You know, it kind of relates to Rick Ross. So on March 2nd, 2018, Rick Ross was hospitalized after being found unresponsive in his house in Miami. From likely they're saying likely a heart attack, and he was on quote-unquote life support. Anyway, Rick Ross was hospitalized exactly 3 years and 33 days before DMX. And to add a special note to that, Rick Ross tried to sign DMX to his record label, and DMX replies, "I don't want anything to do with the Illuminati." And now you got him in this whole quote-unquote vegetative state. And the day numerology when Rick Ross was supposedly found hospitalized and on life support, 3 plus 2 plus 20 plus 18, that equals 43. And I'm hearing all this stuff about the song 4321 and how he was reportedly in a vegetative state on April 3rd, 2021. Is that right?
Right. Correct.
Okay. And the article I'm reading on USA Today is kind of interesting because it talks about how Rick Ross wanted to supposedly lose weight because some of his favorite foods that he couldn't resist were chicken wings, and he's a franchise owner of Wingstop, and he likes fried Oreos. Well, long story short, it says that his weight was at one time 350 pounds, and he dropped 75. That 35, that 350 is kind of important because when you drop to 0, you get 35, like Baphomet, like the word, like the phrase OD. And the 33 is special because when you write out his middle name, Leonard equals 33. His record label, the first word Maybach equals 43. Like the date numerology of Rick Ross's supposed seizure or collapse. The label Def Jam equals 33. One of his labels Epic equals 33. And another label that he has, Po Boy, equals 33. The article in USA Today saying that he was supposedly ill equals 33. And one of his nicknames that he goes by is Rezeno. It's Renzel, Rezeno. That also equals 35, like Baphomet, like OD. And the city that he resides in, Carol City out of Florida, when you write out Carol City, that equals 43, and it also equals 56, just how they're saying that DMX is supposedly, just saying like how he was supposedly contracted the virus. The coronavirus.
Huh. Interesting.
And the phrase life support has the 59 gematria, just like how you're talking about in the video about how they like to shame black people. There's another 59 right there.
Yeah. By the way, for people who don't know, today, April 7th, 2021, is exactly 56 weeks after the pandemic was declared, March 11, 2020. Of course, that's the big coronavirus number. Gavin Newsom's reopening California by the numbers, all this. But, yeah, DMX getting coronavirus while he's in a vegetative state on this date. It's just like, God, man, they just have to turn everything into the same message. That coronavirus is everywhere. Be afraid. It'd be funny if in the days ahead it turns into that's partly what's responsible for his vegetative state, and it's not so much the overdose. But we'll see.
Yeah. One of DMX's special songs that he came out with called Lord Give Me a Sign that he was known for, that has a gematria 79 and 83, just like the word murder. Murder equals 38 and 79 and 83.
Sure. Yeah. Another good observation. But by the way, I did start to watch the beginning of the movie Belly that he's in. Came out in the 90s. And it opens with lyrics from one of his songs. And the first word you hear is DMX's voice at the start of Belly. And he says, I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. And actually, you know what? Somebody told me to go back and listen to the song from the old Mace album with a bunch of features on it, including DMX 24 Hours to Live. If you got a minute, go back and listen to that song. DMX is at the end of the song. Listen to his verse on there about how he's living on borrowed time. Eventually, he already sold his soul and all this.
That song. So. Yeah. I've heard the song before. Yeah, I've heard the song before. Oh wow.
Yeah, so he and this is all from the beginning of his career too. So I mean, like DMX is one of the most outspoken people, I guess, when you start to look at it, going back and looking at his songs about what he did, and he's just been waiting. He says he knows exactly where he's headed, but he's gonna take you there first. So he's been living with a curse. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to the song 24 Hours to Live featuring DMX. If you've never heard the music before, you might not know which voice is DMX, but then you can just read the lyrics. But I mean, he's been telling the story the whole time. If you go back and listen, he's been telling it the whole time he's been here. So, and then again, it's all synced up with LL Cool J, and it happens on 4/3 when Goat's 43, and again 4/3/2/1 was the song with LL Cool J and DMX. On 4/3, while LL Cool J has this radio station on Sirius XM that's channel 43 named after him, and Goat's 43, and all these Goat rituals with 43. Got some bad feedback there all of a sudden, but yeah, again, go look at the lyrics for 4/3/2/1. It ends with LL Cool J saying he's the greatest of all time, the GOAT reference, and then DMX, and this year it's just It's so obvious how they got it, man. And on Easter Sunday too, essentially another rapper Jesus type ritual here with DMX. And DMX for a minute, the headlines were out that he'd left the industry and he was going to be a man of the cloth, but then before you knew it, he was back in the industry. So what are you gonna do? Well, I appreciate it, man. Great research as always, and I look forward to the next call. You have a good night, friend.
Thank you.
All right, take care, man. Let's go out to Binghamton, New York. What's up, Binghamton?
Yeah, what's going on, Zach?
Another day in paradise. What's going on?
Not much, man. Yo, your work just blows my mind. The 47 thing with the news that you led with tonight, it's just same patterns. Like, it's just, these people are just dumb. Really dumb, dude. I wanted to say, Binghamton, I know you talk about Rod Serling sometimes. He actually grew up here. And IBM actually was founded here too. But
Binghamton, huh?
Also in regards to Binghamton, you talk about how Seattle people are bad. Like, I have a feeling Seattle people and upstate New York people are probably like about the same, if not worse here. It's pretty bad. Because how you went into Walmart without a mask, like if you did that here, it would flip.
I'll do that in Seattle. It'll be way different. Yakima's a lot different than Seattle. If I went in Seattle, they'd go nuts. I wish some of the things that I've done in stores this year, I was like, man, I should have been live streaming all these. But I'll recreate it. I'll just do it again. So.
And just one more thing I wanted to say. I think like think about this, food for thought. So I feel like people don't see this blatant truth because like their kids and their wife depend on the lie. Like, think about how many people are out there going through the motions just because they don't want to like tell the truth to like their kids and like their wife about like how it really is. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think a lot of people don't want to tell themselves how it really is. It's just easier to not be in that mindset. They want to think their government's looking out for them. Everything's going to be all right. They're going to grow old and gray. There's nothing to worry about anytime soon. There's always going to be food in the supermarket. That's the way they want to think. So.
And the 666, like, I know we bash religion a lot and stuff, but it's like, I feel like if people were more like hip to religion, like they would see these, like the Mahomes 400 ritual or like the 666 rituals. Like maybe the reason why we're here as a society is people got away from like the Bible and religion.
Well, they got away from spirituality altogether. It's not just that they got away from religion; it's that they got away from spirituality, and but yeah, I say the same thing all the time, and that's why I've always told people you should know what's in the Bible because the people who control this world, they're very much about the Bible. I always say they use it like a playbook. And I don't know if you've been watching my live streams on the corner, but just almost everyone who comes up and talks to us is like a religious person. And since we're in a predominantly Christian nation, and you know, you talk to certain people and they're just like, who cares that they simulate 6? I'm just like, well, don't you know the number is 666? And then they're like, some Bible thing. I was like, yeah, it's about you have to accept it if you want to buy or sell. Kind of like what's going on with COVID. They're like, well, I'm not into all that religious. Like, that's not the point I'm making. The point is we're living out a thing right now that's a lot like what's described in the Bible. But, yeah, people just reject knowledge and truth and spirituality. I mean, all these things are like the real epidemics on humanity. And it is why we are where we are. People are ignorant, willfully ignorant, too comfortable, non-thinking. There's just a lot of bad traits in people right now.
Yep. Terrible traits, man. But just keep doing you, man. And and Baylor, the game, like they were on like 1044 wins, like 144 all time. I thought for sure that they couldn't win. Like I thought for sure they were gonna stay on like
Catholic is 145. Remember, Catholic's 145. Baylor's a Christian school. It's not technically Catholic. It's Baptist. And then Gonzaga's the Catholic Jesuit school, so they got their 145 then over the Catholic Jesuit school, I suppose. And Catholic's 145. Remember, there's 145 more chapters in the Old Testament of the Catholic Bible than the Protestant. And Israel was created on 14/5, like 145. And again, the Jesuits were originally Jews who converted to Catholicism. So it makes sense why they would encode that.
Exactly, man. Like if it's not one thing, then like they're coding another thing. Like they're definitely coding something though. Like that's what you bring to effect. But yo, great work, dude. Just great work. And keep it up, man. And that's all I got, dude.
All right, yeah. You have a good night.
And thank you for taking my call.
Of course. Appreciate your support. Take care, friend.
All right. Peace.
Gonna have to look into Binghamton. Big things coming out of Binghamton. Let's go out to Michigan. What's up, Michigan? Michigan, we got a minute till the break. You're on.
Hey, what's up, Zach? Can you hear me?
Yes, 989. I believe this is the resident musician.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. This is Knowledge for Ignorance. Thanks again for hosting my song Experience on your Voices for Humanity. But I was calling in about a decode that I came across yesterday, an article on Clarence Thomas that I'm not sure that you're aware of. He's like speaking out against all the social media outlets. Like it's seeming fishy right now. It's seeming like he's on our side, saying that we don't have enough leeway in what and what we're able to do on these sites and stuff. So I just want to say I'm posting decodes on 3 platforms: Your Free to Find Truth, Instagram, and Twitter, and it's all under Knowledge for Ignorance. On Free to Find Truth is knowledge hyphen numeral 4 hyphen ignorance. Instagram it's knowledge underscore numeral 4 underscore ignorance, and Twitter it's knowledge for ignorance. But what I want to say about it, some quick numbers. Clarence Thomas equals 56 and 79.
Pause real quick. The music.
Jesus equals
Hold
56 and 79.
1 second. The music came on. Sit tight. We'll be right back, everybody.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality.
Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/sign-up.
Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's a great product. And the one thing I like about it the most is that when you open the bottles, you can smell like the scent of the fruits and veggies. It's no genius thing to it. It's really just fruits and veggies, which everyone needs. And you guys kind of put it in a way where you can take it easy and you can get it, and it's natural, and that's what I like about it. You know, I like the product, and I've taken it, and it's definitely made me feel a lot better. You know, I am a healthy person to begin with, but it's definitely good prevention, and it's definitely gives me energy, and I feel like it's a natural thing. I like it. I really do.
For a limited time, use discount code TALK to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Again, use discount code TALK.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare. We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker, and we got another brilliant caller and a musician on the line. He got interrupted by the break, so we're going right back to him right now. And are you still there, friend?
Yeah, So, if you can notice that the post you just showed, the one from today, it's a split, is because I did the initial smaller decode yesterday, but when I got online waiting, I went back to check the story again, and they updated the story as of yesterday, and now they're calling what Clarence Thomas, what Clarence Thomas is petitioning. They're calling it the technology 202, and that stood out because Skull and Bones is 202. But the reason I gave out all three of my platforms where I'm decoding, because I want to let everybody else get time in with decodes. But as you can see, a part of the decode is the 47 and also the reflection 74 that you started to show off with. It's just amazing. These three quotes that they had in the article, was one of them was sufficiently aching, the other one was government actors, and the other one was common carriers. And he's defending, if you go to the article, Zach, he's defending Trump with him, blocking, subscribers and stuff. But it's crazy that he said, like, some people working for the government are government actors, and Trump name lines up with 3 out of the 4 in the cipher. So I want to let everybody else get a chance to call in. And once again, I appreciate you supporting the music I'm putting out, because I put a lot of thought in it, and I like to stick with it because I know I'm giving good positive information and messages. So once again, I just want to say thanks, and it's great to just learn this gematria information, because now my mother has is coming around to understand it. And one more thing I'll say, then I'll get off, is what I do most of the time. I'm putting at least 3 or 4 screenshots of like the different words or phrases, so people can just know I'm just not putting numbers out. I might not put every different word or phrase that I decode, but I'm putting enough so they can be like, okay, I see where he's going with it. But one thing for sure that I'm getting more reception on, that I'm doing on all of them, is I'm putting a screenshot of that date numerology or the like say if it's like the Clarence Thomas story came out on the 95th day, which is April 5th, and part of the decode was 95. So I'm putting the gematria calculator numerology date thing on it, so people kind of correlating that. And thanks again, man.
Well, you're very welcome, and I appreciate you, and your music's awesome, and I'm glad you're decoding. I'm glad you're a part of the community, and I look forward to the next one, man. Thank you.
All right, yeah, no doubt.
All right, have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if he sent me any more songs. I'm behind on my email, by the way, you guys. I have not been checking. I've just been trying to do too much is what I've been trying to do. If you sent me an email in the last few days, I need to get caught up, so I will get back to you. I apologize. Let's go out to Bothell, Washington, 425. What's going on?
What's up, Zach? It's Bryce.
Hey, Bryson. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right. I guess I'm still alive, so I actually I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'll take it. So I'll try and keep it as short as possible. I know you just talked about your email and all that, but I sent you an email earlier today about Jay Inslee, and he's as a fellow slave to the state of Washington. I'm sure you'll resonate with this. So Jay Inslee, the governor of the state we live in, he announced that on April 19th, he will be opening schools back up across the state. And his birthday is February 9th, 2021, or February 9th, but this year it's 2021. So from his February 9th, 2021 birthday to April 19th, 2021 will be 70 days. Coronavirus equals 70. And his full name, J. Robert Inslee, equals 70 as well.
You want to know what's funny about that? I talked about this same pattern last year with him, because last year the big rally at the Capitol against the lockdowns by Inslee was on that same date, 70 days after his birthday. And now this year they're opening the schools. It reminds me how DeSantis, by the way, for people who don't know, Newsom just announced California reopens June 15th, 70 days after his announcement. We've been talking about coronavirus at 70 all year. But it reminds me of how last year in Florida, DeSantis locked down the state on his 201st day of the age. And now this year on his 201st day of his age, he says there'll be no vaccine passports. But of course, that's the big number as well with coronavirus, because that's the Event 201 simulation. But I wonder how many governors are doing big rituals exactly a year apart, but they're kind of contrasting with one another. So, Oh, go ahead, though. Great observation.
Well, adding on to your observation, which is, a great observation as always, is it's more divide and conquer. And I can already see where it's going, because, am I a prophet? No, I just have the eyes to see, and I'm not blind to the BS. I know we're not supposed to swear, so I'll shorten it. But it's so obvious. It's another divide and conquer tactic. So what they'll do is that the states that do have vaccine passports, they say, oh, look how safe it is. Look at all the cases dropping, which will be a result of using less PCR tests, which have a 90% chance of false positives if they have a cycle threshold over 35. It's just going to be used to propagandize more people. And, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, but it's just divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's for sure. So...
Yeah, and then one last point, one last point. So April 19th, that's the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola became the first superior general of the Society of Jesus. April 19th, 1541. I probably should check this before. I'm going to see if 1541 is a prime, because I'm not sure, but... that never dawned on me before, but right away just a bomb went off in my head. I was like, wow, that's the day of the Oklahoma City bombing, and Timothy McVeigh equals 201 like Ignatius of Loyola, and then the Oklahoma City bombing was in 95, like how the Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses. Right. And Derek had it live earlier, and the Waco siege ended on April 19th as well.
Yes, it did. Yep, it's a big day in history, April 19th. But I didn't realize the connection with Ignatius of Loyola. Man.
Right, yeah. And shout out to Johnny Sorci for that. He told me about that. But anyway, I was doing a decode earlier, and I think there might be a reason that date is always so prominent. So April 19th, 2021, we'll have this year. It'll have 64 and 44 date numerology. Kill equals 64 and 44, and it's every year besides the leap year. It's the 109th day of the year, and it leaves 256 days remaining. 109 connects to shooting equals 109, military equals 109, tragedy equals 109, gunfire equals 109, terrorists equals 109, killed equals 109. There's probably a few more. But it's also the day leaving 256 days remaining in the year. And last year in 2020, I think that was the day that there was the assault weapons ban in Canada on April 19th. And the assault weapons ban equals 256. Right. Second Amendment equals 256.
Right.
And April 19th, 2021 will be 151 days after Joe Biden's last birthday. The Great Reset equals 151. I'm not sure if there's anything else with that. but then it'll also be 64 days after the anniversary of the Stoneman Douglas shooting. And there's probably a lot more.
You said it fast. How many days after the anniversary of Stoneman Douglas?
64.
64. Yeah, that makes sense. 45th
And
date.
it'll have 64, 44 date numerology.
Yeah, it's really ripe for a shooting because it's the 109th day of the year. Shooting's 109. It has 44 date numerology. Shooting's 44. Yeah, and then it'd be, again, that's the day the mass shooting happened in Canada last year. The guy in the Mountie uniform and car, and then they got their assault weapons ban right after that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It'll also be. Well, I'm not gonna waste any more time because I probably should have decoded more before I called in, but yeah, I'll try and do some more research on this. And I was trying to figure out earlier, like, what was the significance of 194 and 419. And shout out to Chigozi. I asked him in like a couple streams ago. Shout out to Chigozi, like what 419 meant. Apparently, it's like a scam number. 419 is like a Nigerian scam number. So that's pretty interesting. But I think if you type out September 11th equals 194. If you type out Solomon Brothers equals 194. If you type out here, let me try and find this. Anyway, it's just like I've been ever since I saw this Ignatius of Loyola 419 date and all these 194, 419 connections. I've just been trying to figure out like its significance. But September 11th equals 194. 2001 written out as words equals 194. A Space Odyssey equals 194. And then so the Whore of Babylon 194. Catholic is 194 and Jewish.
Very good work. Your call was just fine, Bryson. You called in with a lot of good stuff there. And man, I'm so happy about that because I'm going to go back. See, now you just helped make my book better, Bryson, because I already had the Oklahoma City bombing in here with the 201 thing, but I did not know that was the day that Ignatius of Loyola became the superior general, the first one of the Jesuits. It's just so obvious, man. Oh my God, these people are busted. Good work, buddy. I appreciate it.
Right. Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care, man. So that was young Bryson. Again, he's only 15. He came down and pounded pavement with us in Seattle. And now let's go out to Bob Marley's friend. How you doing tonight?
I'm cool. Something, man.
Another day in paradise?
Okay, another day in paradise. Good to see that.
Yeah.
And you say it all about that Florida thing, you know, so Texas is doing the same thing to no passport and vaccine thing.
I see.
They announced that today for Texas.
Okay, yeah, I got to follow up with that.
Yeah. So you know, I was just listening. I don't know if Rambo forgot to give me a call, but I don't know if he was tied up, he was busy.
I see. I'll remind him again that you're out there waiting. Yes.
You call me one of them. I know rush.
Okay. Rambo, if you're out there, he's waiting on the call. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I just can't get into the speech gun, man. I'm trying every time I put it in there, the password is wrong. I don't know what's going on.
What you might have to do, you might have to download
new password.
Well, you might have to download a whole different browser. For some people, it seems like it only works with the Google Chrome browser, and I don't like to support Google, but you might have to download that browser if you want it to work.
Oh. But it was working pretty good, you know what I'm saying?
Huh. I don't know. It's weird.
They have no problem with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's strange.
What it is, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking today, right?
Right.
I was thinking, if all the people are listening to you, I say you say you want to get a office with employed people. If each person could give even $10 towards all the listeners, all who buy your books and all those, that's $10.
if that happened, if everybody who followed my work gave $10, we'd have more than enough resources to do everything we need to do right now. So that would be awesome. But yeah, it's hard to get people, people to contribute, man. I mean, people, I guess, are they're tight with their money. So it's just how it is.
At first, I was saying $25, but I say no, it's hard. So some people might say, why they can't afford it, but $10 they can afford to do that.
Right. Yeah, you would think. So, I've been just trying to get everybody to do $1.
Try to see if we can figure out, somebody do that and see what's happening. Because I'll be the first to send $10, no problem.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll go fund me, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's so hard to get in the office and all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I appreciate that you support like that. Maybe you'll inspire a few more people. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I talk to you, listen. I'll keep listening. That's all.
Appreciate it, friend. You have a good night. Thanks for always supporting.
Yeah, all right.
You take care,
You
man.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. From New York to Wisconsin, the power of the phone and the internet. What's up, Wisconsin?
Hey, Zach. Just calling in about another shooting that happened on Easter Sunday, 4/4.
Besides the Birmingham one?
It happened. Yes, besides the Birmingham one.
Okay.
It happened in Ville Platte, Louisiana, at Hope Park. Shooting equals 44. Hope equals 44.
Yeah.
Ville Platte, 4. Then on the
hold on.
Sign,
The shooting in Alabama was at a park as well. So they're clearly doing something here with the parks.
Yep. I noticed that pattern as well. But if you look up Ville Platte, you do a Wikipedia search or whatever, it's part of a larger community called Evangeline Parish.
So Christian.
Two words that connect to Christianity.
Right. Yeah.
Easter.
Symbolic. And you think of parks, and I guess you think there's probably more to it, but I'm just thinking parks, flowers blooming, the spring, Easter egg hunts, 2 shootings in the news and in parks on Easter, both with 44 connections, of course, on 44, the shooting number.
When you write out Evangeline, it equals 94 and 49.
94th day of the year. Just like Birmingham,
49.
94. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All ritualistic, but that's all I had.
I appreciate it. Hey, I gotta ask, did you see the local crime scene that I filmed here where they showed where the dead body was and they had the number 38 on that spot?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's here in Yakima. I just saw it the other day too, and I was like, that's so weird that they got the 38 little thing out there where the body supposedly was. It's like, what? Is that a coincidence?
Oh, yeah, talking about that with the crime scene.
Yeah, shooting out here. Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate the heads up, man. Thank you. Good eyes.
Yeah, later.
All right, take care. All right, let's go out to Bart in Chicago. What's up, Bart?
Yo, what's up, Zach?
Hey, man.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool. Well, it's that day of the month again where my buddy is having that opening at the gallery. So we want some truth seekers from Chicago and the surrounding areas to come out. I already posted the flyer on Free to Find Truth. So it's going to be this Friday, April 9th at 6 p.m. The address is on Free to Find Truth in the flyer. So just would love to see more people from around the area because we've been kind of discussing things with my buddy and some other people that are involved, and we're going to start pounding the pavement like you guys are doing, and it's going to happen really, really, really soon here. I had some personal things I had to take care of, so that kind of pushed it back a little bit, but we're ready because we actually had the Easter dinner at the gallery with him and his family and some friends. And pretty much the whole dinner conversation was about pounding pavement.
Very cool.
And so,
very cool.
We've got ideas. So please come out if you're in the area. Or even, Indiana. Indiana's close to Chicago. You're talking about 20 minutes on the highway with no traffic.
Perfect.
Please come out and connect with me. I see more and more people connecting with me, which I appreciate. And I got a short decode here that I thought was interesting, because I saw an interesting article today, and I just kind of quickly decoded the stuff that was standing out to me. And it was that Illinois is to get $124 million from the feds to expand vaccine efforts. And in the story, what's interesting, they kind of split up, and they said that the state will get $90 million and Chicago will get $33 million. But, elementary math, 90 plus 33 does not equal 124, right?
Right.
So I kind of went over the numbers, decoded each number. So 124, the first number that was in the article, which they said the total was 124, and then they split it up into the other two numbers. 124 in Gematria is military industrial complex. And that's interesting because FEMA and military is running the United Center of Euthanasia, the mass vaccine site. And then we go to the number 90 million. 90 in Gematria is 222. We know what that number is. Wuhan coronavirus and a lot of more things, which a lot of people should know by now. It's also, here's interesting, it's Great Chicago Fire and A New Order of the Ages, as well as Illusion of Freedom. And then the 33, we don't have to talk about that number. Everybody by now should know what 33 is. So now with this money, they want to expand the efforts of having enough centers open that will allow adults of age 16 plus to get the vaccine. And they want to implement that by, guess what day? April 19th. Bryson just talked about that. So here's an addition to Bryson's April 19th decode. When you write out April 19th, it's 70 like coronavirus and 74. And we all know what 74 is.
Mm-hmm.
So very interesting how they use these numbers throughout the article. But this is what caught my attention. 90 million that goes to Illinois plus 33 that goes to Chicago equals 123 million. And 123 is conspiracy. And interesting enough, White Sox is 123. The story's out of Chicago. And 123 is also communism. And here's a doozy what I saw as I was driving today. I was doing right here. I saw that the lottery jackpot in Illinois right now is $201 million. Yeah, $201 million.
Perfect. Funny.
Yeah, wonderful. They're
Yeah.
flashing these numbers all over the place. Man, the propaganda in Chicago on the billboards is ridiculous. They keep posting numbers of how many Chicagoans have been vaccinated. And then the one billboard that just drives me nuts is the one where they say, hey, connect your phone to keep your community safe. Text your number to this number so that way we could connect you and keep you updated on coronavirus information in your community, which basically is contact tracing. So.
It's something else, isn't it? They really have cultivated a society of very obedient, trusting people to their cause, which is amazing in light of how corrupt the times have been. It's just like, people seriously are just falling for this? Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And at the Rush Medical Center, which is near the United Center, it's funny. It's when I look at the sign, they have it in the window, big sign. Like this is coming out of what we suppose are intelligent, brilliant medical people. And in the window, they say, wash your hands, which to me just says, obey, comply, do as we wish.
It's like you're a little kid and your mom's has to remind you all the time now, remember to wash your hands. Like, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny because my mom has that throughout the house and so does my sister.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So they're complying and obeying, And their excuse is, oh, well, we want the kids to wash their hands. I'm like, well, just teach them. You don't have to put signs up,
Mom never.
But anyway, that's all I got. And please, once again, if just when you guys arrive, if you do, and when you do, just I'll be there early. So if you come early or late or whatever, just ask for Bart, or you'll recognize me by my picture in the flyer and on that predefined shirt. So.
Yes.
All right, Zach. Thanks for your time. I'll be looking forward to more info on that on the masters. I got some things to input, but I'll call in tomorrow because I'm going to take a day off tomorrow. I've been working my ass off.
All right.
I'll call in tomorrow. You're going to do it, right? One more time tomorrow.
I'm going to do it after the day one. After the tournament's day one's wrapped up, we'll do a little recap of day one. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be looking forward to that.
All right. Appreciate it, Bart.
Right,
yeah.
You have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Yeah, no problem. Take care. Bye.
Okay, so Bart, this is a photo from his last outing. He did it, let me recall. He did it March 12th, Friday, March 12th. And a group of gentlemen gathered and, talked about things. And right now they're going to try to turn it into, getting out the word on the streets. Same thing we're doing out here. And that's really what people need to be doing all throughout the country. Again, imagine if all of a sudden 1,000 people went out to their corner and started doing something similar to get out the word. I mean, how fast could that grow into 10,000 corners? And then way more than that. I mean, could happen faster than we think. If all of a sudden somebody figured out online, like, wait a minute, this happened all over. What's this about? Could just create a whole greater interest and curiosity. Because, again, you just got to keep doing something until you reach that critical tipping point. And, again, the more people that participate, the faster it'll come. We got about 30 seconds until the commercial break. When we come back, we'll be going to Bradenton, Florida, the D.C. area, Carbondale, Illinois, Wilmington, North Carolina, Blairsville, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Lapeer, Michigan, Tucson, Arizona, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, Rochester. And we have an hour show left. I know that if everybody keeps their call, to one great point, we'll get through all those callers and possibly more. So stay patient. Be talking to you soon. And there should be the music any second. And then we'll have the short break. And then we'll be right back to take everyone's calls. So there's the music. All right, we'll be right back. True Seeker, sit tight.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Karenism Raw with Karen Atmissa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Ra Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talking news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
House Republicans slammed the administration over the southern border situation. I'm Sal Giangrasso, Fox News. As the Biden administration faces a growing humanitarian problem at the southern U.S. border, Republicans say the president's reversal of many of the Trump administration's key border policies is the reason for the influx of migrants.
What's happened the last 2 months that has sent a signal to the traffickers that the green light is on and you can come in and do business? It's been the actions of the president and the messaging, not of deterrence, but rather if you can come into the country, you can stay.
That's Texas Republican Congressman Michael McCall speaking on the story with Martha McCallum. But the White House is pushing back, saying instead that former President Trump left them with a crumbling immigration system. President Biden will unveil a series of executive actions aimed at addressing gun violence tomorrow, delivering his first major action on gun control since taking office. Republican leaders criticized the president's roughly $2 trillion infrastructure plan as a partisan wish list. The White House defends its proposal, arguing the expensive price tag is necessary to tackle a host of issues.
President Biden told us his American Jobs Plan is the biggest investment in American jobs since World War II.
I'm not trying to punish anybody, but damn it. Maybe it's because I come from a middle-class neighborhood. I'm sick and tired of ordinary people being fleeced.
So he wants to pay for this huge plan with increases in corporate taxes. President Biden did announce there is some wiggle room when it comes to how much he will raise or he would approve of raising the corporate tax rate. He wants it at 28. Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, wants it at 25. He's suggesting that there's somewhere in the middle there.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. Andrew Giuliani, former New York City Mayor Rudolph Giuliani's son, and a former aide of the Trump administration, is evaluating a run for governor of New York as a Republican. America's listening to Fox News.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
This is not a valid
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
You have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal. More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. We're taking your calls the rest of the way. And the first up was Bradenton, Florida. So we're going out to Florida. How you doing?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me, bro?
Yes, I can.
All right, what's up, bro? Big fan. I just bought your book the other day. I don't even remember how I found the YouTube channel. I think it just popped up. So ever since then, I've been hooked. So it was like early February. But my quick question is, I was reading a book about this shooting and stuff, mass shooting, especially when we speak about. So I like your work. I believe in Gematria and everything. But my only question is, whenever you say that, like mass shootings and everything, they're scripted. Like, do you think the dead bodies, are they actually real, or like are those fake? Like, you can get some info on that.
Well, I think it's a mix of both. Have you ever seen the footage of the person, the supposed person that they rolled out of the LAX shooting?
The LAX? No, I haven't actually heard about that.
Well, I'm tempted to show it again, but last time I did that, they took down the whole live stream. But yeah, you can clearly see it's a plastic dummy. You can clearly see it's not a real person. So, and that was one of the mass shootings in the news years ago at LAX. So sometimes they really might be shooting people, but other times they're definitely just drills with things like plastic dummies being given names later in headlines. So look up the LAX shooting. You can still find the footage. Everybody look up the LAX shooting. Just type in LAX shooting dummy, and you will find exactly what I want you to see. So.
All right, LAX shooting. All right, so yeah, because I was looking at the King Super. I remember whenever you were talking about the live stream and everything, I searched it up on YouTube, and I actually seen the live stream and the guy, like, you could see the old man on his phone and texting. So as soon as I seen that, I had a screen record, and I was posting it on my Snapchat and Instagram, but a few people were like, what the hell, that's kind of weird. But I was looking at it, and I seen the people on the ground, so I kind of found it odd that there wasn't, like, no blood or anything around them. So I'm like, that's kind of odd. So, like, you know.
is bad acting is what it is, man. These are forced narratives, but yeah, you can only say so much. That's what they take my channels down the most, is for talking about that stuff. But yeah, look up the LAX shooting. Just type in LAX shooting dummy. You will find it. I appreciate the question, though, man. You have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, you take care.
Hey, wait.
Oh,
wait.
Go. What is it?
All right, it's like literally 30 seconds. All right, so two more quick things. So I was watching the Godzilla movie the other day, and how weird. They went into an elevator, and the elevator was 33 levels long. Can you believe that? So, like, the Masonic and everything, like you said.
Right.
And another quick thing. So the place where I stay in Bradenton, Florida, so I've been driving around and everything, and, like, literally the past week and a half, I've already found 3 Masonic Lodge temples, and it's like, for some reason, I don't know how it is in Bradenton, Florida. I don't know. If you could do the Gematria with that or something, look into that if you can. That would be nice. But for some odd reason, I don't know if that's normal, but what do you think is like, there's like Masonic lodges everywhere that I go around. I found like 3 so far.
How many people live around there? Several 100,000?
In Bradenton, Florida, I believe it's like 57,000 or something like that.
Are you next to a big city, though? Is there a big city by there?
Yeah, it's literally Sarasota, and then on top of that is like the St. Pete and then the Tampa area. If you just go up a little
that's
bit more
probably
north.
why there's so many. Those lodges probably represent a larger part of the community, but that does seem like a lot for one little town there. So I'll look more into it. It's interesting.
All right, thank you very much, Zach. Again, great work. I have your book, so if you don't mind, I want to send it to your P.O. box, and maybe you can sign it or something like that.
Oh, and then send it back to you? I could do that. I could definitely do that for you. If you do send it, I'd send it media mail, though. It's a lot cheaper to ship it media mail. It's only like $3 to ship it, so. Yeah.
All right, sounds good, man. Have a great night. Take it easy, and I love your work, bro.
All right, man. You have a good night. Take care.
Bye.
Also, pretty soon I am going to get... You know what? I decided, you guys... I was going to wait until I was done with the second edition to order more books, but I'm actually going to order some more real soon, so I'll have more. I'm going to start giving out free books on the corner and see if that entices more people to have a conversation. I got to up the ante here in the pound. If you guys don't know, I'm on the corner every day in my town with a megaphone, and now we got Meg there almost every day. Meg with her own megaphone, and we're trying to build up people speaking out about what's going on in the corner. It's a social experiment. I'm going to start bringing out some free copies of the books next. See if that makes more people stop by and want to talk. Let's go out to DC. What's up, DC?
Hey, what's good? You know, it's just me, your favorite caller, Sarcasm. But look, so I got some more questions. I'll try to hurry up. I ain't going to take too much of your time. First of all,
here, hold on. Now I know who this is. Hold on. You all right, I'm going to take back everything I said about you. I apologize. You're a true champion calling back in this week. So now you got my respect. All right, what's up, man?
I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I mean, you looked me up the next day, but I know it was all good because we actually had a good conversation like a month ago, and I think that you took my call as really calling to debunk it. It wasn't that. I wanted like an answer. I want like your answer you would give somebody with that rebuttal. But anyway, it's all good. So look, 2 things, man. I think personally, and obviously I'm not knowledgeable with the YouTube attention span of people, but man, I think it would really help if you did the side-by-side prediction videos, stuff that you did in the past, clip side-by-side with you just predicting that would happen. I think that could be very beneficial. I understand that YouTube takes a lot of your stuff down, but when I first was becoming a fan of yours, I had to go research a lot of this stuff, and there were so many videos to go through. So I think that it would be beneficial if you, for example, the Super Bowl, you did clips that you called this, and then the clip of you actually calling it, because it just, you know, people are lazy. People, they want the easiest route.
Well, I mean, we have done that in the past.
I think that might be cool.
I could do it more, you're right, but I mean, we've done it in the past. It doesn't seem to make people care that much. I mean, people don't. But I could go back and try it again. We could do one of like a big long compilation one of things just all over the years, man. You could just see me getting older on camera. But
yeah, I mean, I think that obviously the shorter the better, but it could be a cool series. But look though, that and man, can you do a Revelation book breakdown, man? There's so many numbers associated with Revelation book, man, and I would love to hear what the reasoning behind certain numbers are in a lot of Revelation, man, because I used to take these numbers very literal sometimes, especially the 144,000. But man, there's way more to this now that I'm open to this. Man, I would love to do like a Revelation series, man. What do you think about that?
You know, the whole time I've been doing this research, I just wish I could like clone myself because so a project that I wish I could just do is just read the Bible only and focus on the Bible and just going through it verse by verse and the numbers and just what's encoded in a lot of verses.
Yeah.
But again, I'll remind people, Revelation's got a tribute to the master numbers. Revelation's 121 with the most simple cipher, which has a square root of 11. And Jesus is 11 in the most pure cipher, the master number. It's about the return of Jesus. And then there's 22 chapters in Revelation. Those are the master numbers, 11 and 22. And then if you do Revelation in the most pure cipher, it's 49, which has a square root of 7, and Revelation's full of 7. And again, that's divine completion. So, yeah, but there's a lot more to it. I will do that at some point. It's just like, God, I need a team of people, man, because to keep up with what I do every day, there's just no extra time in the day.
Yeah. I think people will be I think we'll have a handful of young cats. I think that obviously the most important thing is to be very accurate, you know. But I think there's a couple of young cats that might actually volunteer for that type of crap, man. But look, so my last thing is. And now I'm reverting back to a basic question or whatever. But first of all, thanks for doing a live decode the next day when I called in. I definitely was tuning in and everything like that. It took me like a couple of days, but I was kind of laughing at the stuff you were saying afterwards as far as, some of the IQ stuff. It's all good. Anyway, can you talk about more about, not talk more about, but I'm talking about, can you explain when you say that when the Bible talks about, or I think the Kabbalah believes is that the Bible says, he created the word through numbers, language, and letters. Can you kind of give me an example, like scripturally, of what you mean by that? Like to me, that means like when he says like on the seventh day this and seventh day that. What exactly does that mean when you say that?
Okay, just hold on. Again, in Kabbalah's Book of Formation, it says God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. Right? Numbers, letters, words. How does God create the world in Genesis?
He does it in like a 7-day span. He does it.
But he speaks it into existence, right? He speaks it into existence. So he does it with words. And then every day's numbered when he creates that day. But it says in the beginning, he's speaking it into existence. So God is speaking the world into existence. So with language, God is creating the world. And it tells you on this day he did this, on this day he did this, on this day he did this. It's all numbered, right?
Yeah, I noticed when you said that the details of my version of the Bible says, and he said, "Let there be light," and he said, so you're saying that it wasn't as like a physical creation like we think, but it was more like through the coding of speaking it into formation.
Isn't that exactly how it is when you read it?
Well, you opened my eyes to read it in that type of perspective. So I mean, I think that's debatable, but I think that's sensible, though. I think that's very sensible. You know what I mean? Because they did talk about him doing the ferment at the top with the water. You know what I'm saying? They talk about him opening the gate. You know, and some of that stuff isn't spoken as just verbal. Some of that stuff sounds very physical. In that sense. So I just wanted more details. I think.
Well, here, do me this favor again tonight. Go back and just read the beginning of Genesis and read it all the way up to Genesis 3:22, because again, Genesis 3:22 mentions the tree of life, which is the physical model for Kabbalah, and it's so interesting that it's 3:22 because those are both huge numbers with Kabbalah. There's 3 pillars on the tree of life, and there's 22 paths and the 10 Sephiroth. So 3 and 22 are numbers that relate to the Kabbalah tree of life, and then Genesis 3:2 mentions the tree of life. And again, these parallels between the Bible and Kabbalah. Again, read the beginning. I mean, and tell me it doesn't seem that he's speaking the world into existence.
And I will. I just never had that mindset while reading, which is obviously just my path or whatever. But I will do that. And also these people at the top. Why are these people? Why isn't there at least one person? Because honestly, I'm starting to think that a lot of people are not realizing that are a part of it, like the top, not the majority, but some of them. Because my question is, there's been so much secrets in America that someone has spoke up about, despite the consequences. Why hasn't there been someone that has been involved in it, kind of like faking it for a while, then coming out with this stuff? Like, how can that happen? How can no one speak out despite consequences of even death or family death?
Well, I mean, they're the same kind of questions I asked too. It's like, look at Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson was super famous in the NFL not even that long ago. He's been speaking out nonstop. Hardly anyone in the world cares. I mean, he even came on this radio program and talked about it. And I mean, to me, that's amazing. Larry Johnson was a huge NFL star. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that video. I didn't know he did that. But okay, I'll go now, man. I appreciate your work. Some of the people in the chat are just fake, man. The next day they were acting like they were happy for me and I had good questions, but then I looked back and they were cursing me out. I'm like, yeah, if you guys saw me in person, you would not be doing that. But you know, that's life and that's the internet. So anyway, thanks for your time again, Zach, and thanks a lot for answering my question.
And I'm serious. The fact that you called in this week makes me respect you because I was mean. And it wasn't just about you, so don't think it was all personal. Your mistake was using the word coincidence. I hate the word coincidence. The stuff I'm showing is not a coincidence. Maybe 1 out of 100 things that I show is a coincidence.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, man. No, man, you had me go to TMZ every day, and I found a name for the date every day consistently. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. You do a great job because usually you're pretty cool. So I probably was just a tipping point for the week. It's all good. Honestly, I'm not really thinking too much about it. I appreciate it.
All right. Like I said, you got my respect. You're a good man. You have a good night.
All right. Thanks.
Take care. Yeah, he called in last week. He had a bunch of questions, but then he was just making things seem too coincidental. Or at least I interpreted it wrong. So then in my next post, the next morning on the mass shooting, I was like, here we go. Let's see how coincidental things are. All right, let's go out to Illinois. What's up, Illinois?
What's going on, man? Appreciate the time. We'll start off by saying big props to the dude with the music video. That was a great song. I appreciated that.
Indeed.
I was wondering if you seen Mark Elliott death.
No. When did that happen?
That was I think it said he died on April 3rd, but then they released the news on 4/6. And Mark Elliott equals 46 in the most pure cipher.
Yeah, that's how they do
it. He was like the trailer dude for the Disney movies or whatever. He did like 20 years, like now your feature presentation type, that guy.
I see. Yeah. Interesting.
They made a big deal, his interview, they made a big deal about him changing his name on a Sunday in San Francisco. Like, I thought that was funny.
Huh. Okay, I'll look into that. I appreciate that.
But yeah, and then I wondered. I know that the Baylor game getting rescheduled, that had snuck up on us. But Mark Few ended up getting his 125th loss. And then I know you was looking for the pie ritual, and I was wondering if you seen that. I think his name was Butler, the most outstanding player. He had gotten 22.7 assists.
Funny, man. It just kills me how they do it. The leading scorer, his last name Butler, and the university in Indianapolis is Butler, and the coach went to Butler. It's just like, God, look at how they do this, man.
It's disgusting, man. It's like a DNA strand, man. It's just piece after piece. But then I look, and the Baylor Bears equals 227.
I see. Good one. Yeah,
and then Buddy was talking about Chet Holmgren the other night, and I thought it was strange because I seen, like he said, a 7-foot-tall, like super skinny dude. But the first time I had seen something about it was in October, right around the World Series. It was right after that. He had put up an 18-point, 18-rebound triple-double, and I was like, what the hell? So I went and looked. Chet, his first name, 18 and 18.
Huh. Yeah, I see that. Most pure cipher, 18.
I was like, get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Yeah,
that's all. I just want to call in is, give props to the dude for the music and appreciate you for the time and the hard work, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I'm sure he likes to hear that compliment, yeah?
We're trying to raise support here in Southern Illinois, man. I don't know if there's a lot of truth seekers around here, but I know there's a lot of Trumpers and everybody that want to follow the wave, so.
How far are you from Chicago Pilsen area? Chicago Pilsen?
Oh, I'm about, I think it's 7-8 hours.
Oh, that's far. Okay, that's real far, man.
An hour and a half from St. Louis.
Okay, that's real far.
I'm about an hour and a half from St. Louis.
Okay. All right, so you're closer to St. Louis. Well, again, people, let's use the Free to Find Truth. Let's make a group on there and just try to get other people on our group.
Yeah, I'm on there. The only one I really connected with was Sonny, and Bryson's. You know, he always appreciates a good decode.
Okay. Yeah, eventually, hopefully, our numbers get bigger and we find more people close to us, because I know they're out there. So, appreciate that, though, man.
Yeah, well, we're out here, man. Yes, sir.
All right. You have a good night, friend. I appreciate your call.
I appreciate you.
All right, take care. I didn't realize Illinois was that big, man. That's a long drive. Let's go out to Georgia. What's up, Georgia?
Yo, Zach, what's up?
How you doing?
Not too bad, man. I just want to call in and tell you I appreciate your work. You have helped me out so much waking up my family. About a couple years ago, they tried to put me in the psych ward for talking about kind of a lot of the stuff that you talk about. And it wasn't until I found your platform to where I was able to get some credibility from what I was saying. And you've really helped me wake my family up. I just want to tell you I appreciate it a whole lot. I don't got no decodes or anything like that. I just wanted to let you know. I appreciate you.
Well, you're very welcome, and I appreciate your story, because my sister, when I first started, she wanted to throw me in the psych ward, and I think quietly these days she finally knows I'm right, and I wonder how that makes her feel. She won't talk about it or admit it, but just in the early years of this, she thought I really had she thought I was mentally ill for talking about what I talk about, and it's like, so yeah, it's crazy how people.
I completely understand what you're talking about. I had 8 cop cars, and I got interviewed by a crisis intervention lady trying to get me to be locked up 1013 or what I was talking about. And it wasn't until because at that time I hadn't discovered your platform. I didn't know about Gematria Effect or anything like that. And when I came across it, this actually gave me someone else that for some reason my words don't mean anything, but your words, Zachary, they are golden. I'll tell you that right now, and I appreciate everything you're doing, man. Just keep grinding.
I will, and I'm glad that worked out for you, and I'm glad that it's helped you out with your family situation. That does make me feel good, because I just gotta throw this out there for people. If you guys don't watch what's going on in the corner, we've had this woman Meg, and she's been coming out a lot. Well, yesterday when she showed up, she was different. Her energy level was way down. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what it was. But then it finally came out that she read the comments online, and people have been trolling her and saying mean things, and it hurt her feelings because she'd never seen the feedback she's gotten online for being out there in these videos. And anyway, I just told her, I said, listen, that's just the trolls, and that just means you're doing something good. But so today she came back strong. But the point I was going to make is, like, there's so many people in the world who will try to grind you down, and they might even be in your own family. But you just gotta stay on the path and stay strong and just get through it. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And just really, for all of us who are awake, who get called all these names by all these people, it's just we got to grind through that. Because, again, so many of us are dealing with the same thing. I mean, if my sister would have had her way, I would have been put in an insane asylum for sharing this. I mean, it sounds like your family's trying to do the same thing to you, and it's just but eventually they can maybe realize that they're in the wrong. And I think that happened for my sister, even though she doesn't talk about it. And it looks like your family realized that too. So that's why for all the truth seekers, we just got to stay on the path and keep doing what we were put here to do. So I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to call in and tell you I appreciate you. I appreciate you because you really helped me. My voice wasn't enough. I needed another voice out there, and you don't even know how much your work means to me, man.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your support and your call, and I'm glad you're on better terms with the family. You have a good night, friend.
All right, man. You have a great night, man. I appreciate you.
All right, yeah, you take care. Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win the battle. Let's go out to Georgia again. What's up, Atlanta?
Yo, Zach, this Jay with Open Eyes.
Hey, man. What's funny is you and him called in at the same time because you both been on the hold for 47 minutes. It's funny. It's on 472, but you both call in from the same place too at the same time. That's cool. What's up, man?
Oh, really? Yeah, man. I ain't even been on nothing, man. I just been putting out more music and stuff like that. I saw what happened a couple days ago. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday when you lost a bet and people were saying, "Oh, that must be proof that Gematria isn't real." It's like Gematria is still real. The reason he lost is because he didn't see, the ritual the ritual with the other way.
Well, I saw it both ways. I just thought it was better for Gonzaga. Yeah, and again, for all the people that think like that, I mean, those are just dummies. That's why you don't cast your pearls before swine. So what was it? The last 100 times we got it right then? That was proof of what? I mean, these people are dummies. And it's like, okay, so we're a hair off. I mean, we called Gonzaga to be in the championship before the season began, and you followed that narrative and we thought it'd be a perfect season. There was a lot of money to be made up until. So, I mean, again, that's why you don't cast your pearls before swine. Swine are just dumb people that say dumb things, period.
Right, and I just wanted to say something because I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh man, I bet it 2,000, and because of Zach, all my money was lost." I'm like, bro, that's why he tells you not to bet all your money. Like, what the fuck? Like, people are just so stupid. I'm like, that's why he tells you not to bet all your money, like, because he knows that it could go either way. He just looks at which way it seems like to be going. Like, it's just when I see stuff like that, I feel like, you know, I just had to make that statement because it's like, like, you're not supposed to bet all of your money because you never know. You still never know what happens.
The first rule of gambling, again, the first rule of gambling is never bet what you can't afford to lose. Never bet what you can't afford to lose.
Right.
That's the first rule. So.
Right. And it's like, don't blame Zach. You the one who decided to bet all the money. And just because he gets, like, I think you would be, like, I'm kind of glad from, like, the perspective of, like, trying to see how genuine we are, because I realize a lot of people on this YouTube stuff ain't genuine, but to be honest, I think it shows that you're not an agent because you don't get everything 100% right. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you were able to predict 80% shows, you know what I'm saying, shows what it really is. I feel like you'd be a agent if you got every single last thing that you said right, because you really have to be on the inside and know what's going on. But the fact that you can predict
what you're saying is funny because
you can predict.
We've been on such a long ride with futures and not missing on our futures that a guy got real mad because he's the kind of guy who just keeps winning and gets more and more confident, so he bets more and more, which I never tell people to do. I always say just be consistent, be the tortoise, just keep building, don't get greedy and think that you finally got the lock, so you're putting it all down and trying to double your net wealth overnight. But anyway, he's saying, well, you get them right all the time, so you must have been told to give us a wrong pick here. You knew it was going to be that. It's just like, no, dude, I don't give out wrong picks intentionally. That would never be my thing. And again, people like that annoy me because if you're on my Patreon, I said the day before the game was played, I said, listen, we've been on Gonzaga all year. I'm riding Gonzaga to the finish line, but the perfect number thing with the Bears getting the 28th win does worry me a bit. Gonzaga and Baylor 28, that's the perfect number. It could be the perfect number to break up the perfect season. Well, that's what it ended up being. I mean, we saw it could be that. But I wasn't going to change my pick at the last minute after saying that that's what it was going to be before the season even began. So, again, I told people, I said, if all your money's in the Gonzaga basket, I would definitely hedge with Baylor. That is what I told people. Plus, by the way, for the record, for the day of the game, I had Baylor to cover the spread, and I had the under. Correct. We'll be right back, everybody. Commercial break.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworks. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim with triviality so fear-filled and grim, break clear of the fear right here. Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworks. Break free of the fear.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. I saw somebody in the chat point out that Earl Simmons equals 48, the real name of DMX in the most pure cipher, and that's true. And it reminds me of the crucifix equals 93 as well as 48, and we found out about him being in a vegetative state on April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year, which science traced to be the date of Jesus' crucifixion. And it would be something if they pulled the plug on him tomorrow, because they're saying how today the family got the update about how he has little brain activity and now they decide what's next. It could be that tomorrow we read that they pulled the plug on him, and if they did do that, again, just realize Earl Simmons 48, his number would be up, and it connects with the whole crucifix ritual that we talked about over the weekend. And that's a ritual that's happened a lot with rappers. So, good observation. And again, DMX seems like many of rappers to know what his fate was based on the lyrics he's left. All right, our friend got cut off in Atlanta, so let's let him finish his thought. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, I just heard what you said about DMX. It really is sick what they be doing. That's crazy. I just typed it in. Yeah, that's why. Because you know, I always wanted to rap and all that other stuff. So it's crazy that all this stuff just be going on. I'm glad I found out about it though, because it let me know, if I'll probably never blow up. I know I'll never blow up to the level that certain other people blow up to, but even if I was beat around that, I know what to stay away from.
Yeah, it's good to have knowledge. It can save your life.
Yeah. You went to college, right?
Yeah, I did. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have.
Because I don't know what to do with my life. I know what I want to do, but it's just I don't want to, all those student loans and all that other stuff, and you just feed it more into the system.
I wouldn't go. I would definitely not go to college in this era. There's too many opportunities to make decent money, and again, there's things from Uber to DoorDash to all this stuff. You can make decent money at that, and you can pay your bills and live, and then you can work at the thing that you're really passionate about instead of getting in all this debt, and then you get out of college.
That's what I thought about doing too.
Yeah.
So that's what I planned on doing. It was just me wanting to actually get out the house and stuff like that. But I was, at the same time, the loans and all that stuff, and if I did go to school, I would have to go to a summer program first, because my SAT scores weren't that good. I was never a person. Once I got to high school, I was never like really excelling because I have a hard time concentrating on stuff that I'm not interested in. Like I was never dumb.
Yeah, you're like my dad. My dad doesn't have the
like
mind.
good grades don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I just couldn't stay still in class and all that stuff. The doctor told you that I had ADHD, but I mean I'm just
Right. Your just mind's not into that. You have a good mind, obviously. You have critical thinking and everything. You're just bored and it's like, I can't focus on stuff that's irrelevant to me. Yeah, and then that's kind of how school is. So, I'd skip it, man.
I didn't want to go back.
Yeah, just work hard. All right, Jay, we'll keep it up, man. I'm going to let some more people get in tonight because there's a lot on hold, but appreciate you, man.
All right.
You take care.
All right.
All right, that's young Jay. And again, for all the young people, man, the best thing you can do in this world is always work hard. Work hard at everything. Don't be lazy. Don't sit there and just watch TV and play games all day. Work hard at stuff. And if you have some skill, work hard at getting better at that. And, figure out a way to turn your talents and your arts and your crafts and all that into something that can sustain you. I mean, you do live in the world where that's possible. Very possible because of all the things that are here. The internet and more. All right, let's go out to Michigan. What's up, Michigan? Michigan, hello.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right.
Hey, I missed the first couple hours of the show, but I've been talking about our assemblies, and I happen to be on a special assembly call tonight where our Michigan is the state that pretty much started it all back in 2010, and they're having an Orange County, California training call, an introductory call. But our assemblies, we have calls on Thursday nights, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. And, I have a lot of, and the website is national-assembly.net. I think it's very important that we assemble as we the people. I love what you're doing, and I'd love to incorporate that into the assembly. I talk about your show a lot to the people that I speak with, and I've been told by several family members that I'm dangerous, and it's funny that you talk about, it's not funny, but it's just funny that you talk about your sister and that other cat, had family wanting to lock him up, and for speaking the truth. And there's some kind of a quote that a patriot is a hated man in the beginning, and then eventually when he wins his cause, then everybody rallies around him and wants to be like him. So you keep up what you're doing, and I really believe that we can beat these tyrants, this power that shouldn't be.
The proof. Hold on. The proof that we can beat them. If we couldn't beat them, they wouldn't be taking all these measures to suppress us and censor us and continue to take away more rights and liberties. They know that the game's still at a place where they could be beat. So.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. They have a game, right? Their goal is to either scare the living shit out of people or piss you off so much that you take to the streets. And they want us to start killing each other. Divide and conquer is the most classic military strategy there is. Don't fall for it, people. And I don't think anybody on this call is falling for it. But, Bart in Chicago is quite the activist. And I listen to this radio broadcast from publicbroadcasting.org. A lot of great stuff there. But there's a guy from Chicago, Tony. He calls in every weekend to this show on Saturday mornings, and he's quite the activist. He's got a website, vaccinehoax.com, and he's on corners in Chicago with signs about the vaccines being a hoax and COVID being a hoax, and he's been protesting for a year about this stuff, and he's either out there by himself holding big signs out where they're vaccinating people, or he's got a group of people with him. But he's there every single weekend. He needs to team up with Bart and start pushing his site and your site and teaming up. Bart needs to look for this guy. I don't know him personally, but I've heard him call several shows on RBN talking about his website, and I think you guys need to look him up. Bart needs to look him up so they can hook up together, because Tony is quite the activist, and I think they can do something special out there in Chicago. That's a war zone right there.
Appreciate
so
that
all
connection.
I got. Thanks a lot, Zach.
All right, friend. You have a good night. You take care.
You too.
All right. I think this is Leo down in Tucson who's been pounding pavement with Big Al. What's up, Leo?
Yo, Zach, it's Leo.
Thought so. Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm good. So thanks for taking my call. And real quick, I just wanted you to let everybody know, if you can right now, that Al and I, Big Al, are going to be doing a live stream tomorrow, but I'm going to be doing it from Twitch. Okay. And I just wanted everybody to hear it because I just started the Twitch, and I'm not going to have anybody really following because I just started it. So maybe, people can hear that I'm doing it tomorrow around 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, same place as the last live stream. And as you know, they took the live stream down. But I just wanted to get it live right now on the show so people could go there tomorrow and try to be in the chat or whatever.
What's your channel? What's your channel on Twitch?
So it's Truth Over Fear 1.
1. Let me see.
Yeah.
Is that the spelled out 1, O-N-E, or the number 1, or?
Just the number 1, yeah, number 1. So Truth Over Fear 1.
That's probably all one. Is it all one
and
word?
I'll be live streaming from. Yeah, it's all together. It's all together. My bad.
I found it.
Yeah, so we'll be live streaming from there tomorrow. Big Al and I, and then hopefully we can get some people to come join us again. But it seems like there's enough people in Tucson that are either eager to talk or share their opinions or whatever. But I really appreciate it, Zach. I know you got a lot of people waiting and stuff. But I also just want to say real quick, Zach, I want to thank you again, man, because you inspired me. And I believe anybody can do this, because I asked myself when I got that inspiration from you, because I'm new at this, bro, And I was like, wait a minute, what can I do? And I did. I took action. I've been awake for a while, but I just couldn't prove everything. And you actually allowed me to prove it to people. Like, people thought I was crazy. They thought I was just spitting nonsense or whatever. But until I found your channel, I was like, oh my gosh, this proves it for me. And then I started, explaining it to other people, and they're like, oh shit, this guy is really, he's talking about something. So again, I just want to thank you, Zach, for that. And then just wanted to get on here and let everybody know that we will be live streaming tomorrow on the same corner in Tucson, Arizona.
Awesome. So I'm following. And again, you guys, twitch.tv. I'm also streaming on there, Gematria_effect_news. But so far they haven't been Well, I can't. Today, there's been 2 days where my cell phone connection was unstable. I don't know if it was actually the provider or if that was some kind of censorship, but anyway, the videos are staying up there, and that's a lot better than YouTube. And Leo and Al did this last week, and they got their video taken down for medical misinformation for asking people to research.
Right.
And so he's moving over to Twitch. Truth Over Fear, #1, all one word, no spaces. And him and Big Al will be out there again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Yes, sir. Awesome. I appreciate you, Zach. Thank you so much. And love your work. You always know that. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks, man. You have a good night. Oh, by the way, what I should have just told him is Meg has to drive down to Tucson for some family thing. So Meg is actually going to go down to Tucson, and she's aware of already Big Al and Leo, because she's getting real active in the community. And she's like, I want to go down there and pound pavement with them too. So there actually could be a video in the near future where Meg is meeting up with Leo and Big Al on the corner, just because she has to go down there, just the way things work out. And she saw that they're doing this down there. So that'd be funny. Meg from Yakima to Tucson. All right, let's go out to, I believe it's Mississippi.
This one here. Oh, man. Hey, I need Rambo.
You missed Rambo?
Zach.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, shit, you can hear me. Hell, I was just talking about, man, I found something, man. Goddamn, I was talking to myself. I said, man, I'm going to need Rambo for this one.
Oh, I see. I see.
Joe Biden, my fault, I'm on Wi-Fi, so it's going to be a little slower. I'm going to be lagging.
But man, just give me a little time. I'm sorry, callers behind me, but this one got me racing. I believe, like, if you go to the Four Horsemen, Joe Biden is there, and he's like, if you look at the Four Horsemen, it represents the zodiac signs, and it's 3 signs attached to each 4. And Scorpio represents death, Aquarius represents death, and Pisces represents death. And we just moved out of Pisces into Aquarius. And war is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And if you go to the Four Horsemen, you know, like the scriptures, let's see here. Hold on real quick, Zach. Okay. And she brought forth a man-child who is the ruler of all nations. That man-child will be Joe Biden because he goes back to a child, like you said, Zach. He always blinks out. He forgets his name and shit. It's him. And he's that Scorpion. Scorpio equals 46. And when you type in man-child, the rule 4th, it equals 222 in the English ordinal. Then when you put a man-child Scorpio, it equals 78. And think about the Horseman, 1978. That's the year of the horse. Like the show Lucifer, the character that plays it is a Scorpion. He's 42, born November, it's November something, but November 17th. And his tarot card is the Morning Star, so he's perfect for it. And man-child Scorpio equals 84 in the reverse full reduction. If you type in, if you type in man-child, the rule 4th, the nation, Joe Biden, it equals 444 in English ordinal.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Then, okay. Now if you go to the verse, the conqueror gives the bow, like one of the horsemen who sits on there and death follows. That's the verse for Joe Biden. He's the Scorpio. And the conqueror, if you look at the 3 signs, is Gemini, I think Virgo, and Capricorn. And think about it, Capricorn, you seen Will Smith in Gemini Man. He's a Capricorn. He played Gemini Man.
Right.
And then the conquest, Gemini. Trump just gave it over to Biden technically.
Okay, I see.
And then think about it. Angel sounded out the 5th house. Think about the 5th house. You're moving into the age of Aquarius, the 5th house. And it has to do with the sun. And damn, Zach, I got my stuff messed up. But if you type, damn, I'm trying to get to the Revelation verse. I think it's the 5th one. Something comes to the earth.
I'd have to revisit it. I don't know it off the top of my head.
I can't see it, Zach. I can't see it, Zach, but I'm telling you, man, just look into that. Just really look into that. And look into the verse of Revelation 9-11. Demon locusts with human faces, long hair, lion's teeth. And the power of the scorpion, sting plague. And think about it, he stings for 5 months. It came out of the 5th house. It's the shot. He took the shot in the time of Sagittarius.
I see. Yeah, those are great observations. Yeah, I see.
But I'm gonna let the next caller go. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate your call. Great thoughts. Very interesting. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go out to Memphis, Tennessee then. Memphis, you're on.
Hey, bro.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, making sure I'm on. Anyways, I'm going to be really quick. So I've been noticing, YouTube's been giving you a hard time and everything. There's a bunch of platforms I've been looking into. Have you heard of OurTube?
Somebody told me about that. I kept doing a search for OurTube, and I just couldn't even find it. OurTube.
Oh, that sucks. So, well, I'll put up a link soon. I actually created you a Facebook page. I hope you're okay with that. I'm like holding it down for you over there on Facebook.
That's fine. If you're helping me out the word, I'm
News.
grateful. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
You're welcome. So I'm downloading your YouTube videos and putting them back up because you gave everybody, permission.
Right.
I could really use some admin's help. We've got a group going. We as in, I don't have anybody helping me.
Sure.
I've got a bunch of vaccine groups I need help with because I'm trying to wake people up, man. I'm trying to get them to understand that mRNA is, messenger RNA has to do with your DNA. It has to do with technology. If people just look up things, bro, they'll be amazed. Oh,
sure.
mRNA. That means technology is going in my body. Holy shit.
Right.
That's not
Right.
good. I don't want that. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. TFR.
It's okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. TFR won't mind. It'll be
Yeah.
YouTube. It'll be YouTube that has the problem. So.
Oh, cussing?
Oh, well, that's okay.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got you, man. Yeah. But, anyways, I'll put up a link in the next 24 hours. Just go to your Facebook page and look. And Richard invited you to the group. And anytime you're good and ready, I will add you to your Facebook page and your Facebook group.
Okay.
So it's GematriaEffectNews.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So just so people
All right,
understand,
man.
he
I'll
set
talk
up
to you
this
later,
page.
brother. Sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for doing this. I didn't realize this existed, but if you guys come here, just realize I'm not running this page. He is, but he's doing it to get out the word. So I don't have any problem with that. I appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you.
Cool. All right, man. Yeah, I just wanted to keep it really short and sweet for you. Thank you so much for all you do.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks for helping get out the word. You have a good night, friend.
No problem. Talk to you later. All right, bye.
Yeah. There's been a few people with credit pages that look like if you went there, you might have thought I was running it, but it's just people trying to get out the word. But I don't mind that, honestly. So as long as they're not doing bad things in my name. But hey, what's up, Ohio? You're on.
How's it going, Zach?
It's going all right. How are you?
I'm good. So I was noticing all the twin stuff, 19 years ago, the Twin Towers, and every time something comes up in the news, Baylor, or the pink diamond that little Uzi Vert got with Dustin Diamond, things have been coming in pairs. So that last guy was really good. He did a really good job on that Facebook. And the guy before him was killing it with the Revelation.
Yeah.
I found my own sets of twins. So I was looking at Kabbalah, like trying to read about, English to Kabbalah. And I noticed the Karen Kabbalah Center. And everybody's been talking about Karens.
Uh-huh, right.
And that's in Georgia, I think Atlanta. But also I was trying to find some kind of other example, and I noticed that Bill Gates is, working with the big farm. And also he's the largest farm owner.
Right.
Landowner, sorry.
Right.
So he's, has a big farm, and also he's in big farm.
Right. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah. Scary.
I like how you've been calling out the superstars, calling out Cool J, and there was a couple other ones in the past. So that's awesome. I liked how a couple have been responding. I noticed some stars have been responding to Conscious X's posts, and he does a lot of masks and rapper deaths and how they're other rappers. But that was it, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Great call, friend.
Trying to contribute something. Might as well be a little bit of comedy.
Indeed. We need that the most. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, you have a good night. All right. Let's go out to Denver. Denver, you're on.
Hey, Zach. How you doing, brother?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Hey, I talked to you, I think the last time before Passover, an hour past Passover, and 11 bread. So a lot's definitely been going on, afterwards. And also I had a very comment. You had a video where it was like a gold and a silver guy, like he counted down and he blew up.
Daft Punk.
And I only seen his YouTube videos, like where silver was about to blow up with this Biden New Deal. So I remember way back, and they said like $30 an ounce could go to $5,000 with this new Biden deal.
Well,
so it was very interesting. I watched that video, and also we're going to Passover Shani in 30 days, and our rabbis are talking about economic forum, everything's going to change, and everything with, these trillions, going out. I mean, this is like unheard of,
Well,
And always
there
people
was a
saying on
caller.
YouTube, buy silver. So
There was a caller who phoned in. He hasn't called in since, but he said the price of silver will become as much as gold, if not more. And it seems hard to imagine, but if they're going to shift the world on top of his head, I mean, be unprecedented that silver was worth as much or more than gold. But we'll see. We'll see. I guess stranger things have happened. So.
well, they always say silver or gold is money, everything else is paper, right?
Right.
Even though the irony of you trading an element back for paper, you know what I mean? So there you go. But I've got $5,000 of paper or $30 in paper. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, you know. So
yeah.
But I remember you showed that video. You know, the guy was like counting down. He blew up. It was like a rock band or something.
It's Daft Punk, and
it's
all
synced
synced up.
So I was like, man, there might be an economic explosion coming. You know.
It's all synced up with May 26th, the date of the lunar eclipse, and it's also synced up with the solar eclipse right after that I think is June 10th. I have to double check that date. So, did you have any more thoughts? There's one more person on hold after you, friend, but if you got another thought, go ahead.
No, brother. Also, you know, you're definitely deleted on YouTube. Always see like sport effects, but yeah, you're gone, man. They like canned you, like you're out of there. You know, I was like, oh man, he made my life like, oh, my man Zach's gone. I think last time I called him, I had that Boulder event, remember?
Yeah.
You know, before Passover and everything. So
yeah.
So I was like, well, I got a hold of you like the TFR. You know, you're on live right now. So, yeah, I was like a little disappointed, man. It's like my Wednesday night deal, you know. You got a lot to go to info. So, you know, I think up with the Torah, you know, I follow, you know, like the spiritual side. But a lot of things that God gave you a gift, brother, definitely stick with it. I mean, you definitely got something going on, hands down, without a doubt. So, but yeah, I'm just going to say, pay attention to silver, you know, see what happens, make some economic gains. You know, the supply message is still going to go way out of whack. I think the last time I talked to you, 42 months, so we're 1 year in, so you got about 2.5 years left. But this roller coaster ride is going to get crazier and crazier and everything. Economics, war, everything coming. I heard a lot of callers talk about revelations. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're going to follow the supply, Red Dragon, Beast System, but you don't want to get caught up in that. But you're definitely exposing the hell out of it. That's why I like listening to you, you know.
That's what I try to do.
But yeah, that was it, Zach. I just wanted to, you know, share that. But I remember you had that video. But I do, you know, I would hate to say if you could buy silver for $30 right now an ounce, and in 2 to 4 months it hits $5,000. Remember, you also had a prediction on Bitcoin with 45 grand too, man. So, you know, it was a lot of crisis, but you can make big gains, and what you're trying to do, it could really help your cause too, you know what I mean?
If it went up that much, it would be
too.
amazing. It would be amazing if it went up that much. I mean, it seems unreal, but it does seem that it's going to have a spike. They're saying they're going to need it for all the solar stuff that they're planning, so its value is going to gain, but yeah, keep an eye on it.
Exactly. So. Yep, you're absolutely right, man. That Green Deal, you have, you know, silver, gold, copper as electric, you know, condensity.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Indeed. So, we're out of show, everybody. Appreciate all of you.
Well, be blessed, brother. It was good hearing from you.
All right, man. You have a good night. You take care.
All right, brother.
Take care. All right, that's the end of the show. Again, I can't control the music or the commercials. They're just on the auto timer. And I want to say thank you to the people who have emailed in their song. There's been about 4 people who've emailed in a song. And again, if you're a musician out there, if you're a musician and you have a song, maybe you even have 2 songs. If I don't have enough people email in songs, I could use 2 of your songs or maybe even 3. But what I have to do is I have to give TFR like a 30 to 45 second clip of a song. So if you can clip 30 to 45 seconds, I know that might be tough because your song wasn't meant to be 30 or 45 seconds, but just imagine a nice part of the song where you're going into the commercial break or coming back. If you guys could clip a song of yours and like give me the title and your name if you want so I can bring it up when the song comes on. But what I'd like to do with is tell Chris Geo, who runs TFR, to take out all the commercial music that's in the breaks and swap in the listener-supported music. Then that way when I'm on YouTube, I don't have to worry about copyright strikes, and then I'm also helping promote your music. So, again, there were about 4 people, and I haven't submitted anything in yet because I was hoping that more people would send in a song. So I'm going to put it out there again. And when I have enough song clips, then we'll make that that transition, which I think will be a good one. So, Asif says, put in Deuce by Chiroglyphs. And of course, we had Chiroglyphs on with a great interview recently. Local musician, very talented man. Okay, I appreciate that tip, Asif. We'll see what Chiroglyphs might be out there. He might have. And you know what? You know, Cairo, if you're out there, send me a few different songs, man. Because, again, right now, only like 4 people did. And if there's only so many people, well, we can just have a bunch of songs from the same people who wanted to do it. That's fine, too. So, Shanti is sending in tracks. Okay, the place to send it to is this. numbergamesbook@gmail.com. And make sure in the title you just put song. Song. Just put song. That's all I want for the title. Song. And then when you fill in the email, attach the song and just say, hey, this is Shoddy and this is my song or something like that. That's perfect. But just make sure song is in the title, because then that allows me to sort all the emails with the song clips just by song. Makes my life easier. So, numbergamesbook@gmail.com. Send your song clip there. And then pretty soon you'll hear your music on the commercial break. So, and then again, I won't have to be tinkering with the volume and worrying about getting a copyright strike and all this. Somebody says, what size t-shirt do I wear? In most cases, I wear a medium t-shirt. Like, other things like normally a large, but t-shirts, a medium is usually good. So, some things run different sizes. Knowledge for Ignorance had a great song that we uploaded. He called in tonight. I see some people need their wrenches back. Sorry, guys, on the new channel, I haven't gotten everybody their wrench. But I'll keep working at it. So, okay. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there for tonight, Truth Seeker. Tomorrow, I'll be out pounding the pavement. And make sure you subscribe to Leo on Twitch. I'm on Twitch. Again, YouTube's... eventually, I might just have everything on Twitch. Well, we'll see. And again, my website team is making me cry inside. Like, I'm like, okay, we're so far behind on the Signs Matter website. Like, what is taking so long? This should not be this hard. And then I want them also to figure out the live streaming thing, too. But, God, as long as the Signs Matter thing's taken right now, I'm like, this is never going to happen. So, but anyway, I'm using Twitch right now for On the Corner because so far everything's stayed up. And by the way, Leo, go through the settings and make sure you find the one where it's like save your videos. But if you search Gematria on Twitch, it should come up. And I got this channel here. And this is Meg right here if you haven't met Meg. She might make it down to Tucson. But, you know, you click the videos tab. And there's this thing where people do these clip segments. Education series. Or popular clips. Like, people who watch the video can clip a section that they like and just have a short clip up there if you only have so much time. And then all the videos are down here at the bottom in the full-length videos. And, man, I don't know if you got 4.5 hours, but in this 4.5 hour video, there are some real gems captured in here. Just like some things that I am so grateful they were captured. So, you know, showed you how to shop in a big box store like you're a human being in the age of the pandemic. So anyway, I am using this website quite a bit right now, and it doesn't get nearly the traffic YouTube does, but at the same time, it's still worth it because they're keeping up the videos. So now, granted, I have heard that this is owned by Amazon and Jeff Bezos, but to their credit, they did censor my book at first, but they haven't taken it down. And it's been on there since October now, so see if it stays that way. I sure hope it does. But again, it just needs to be up in as many places as possible. And again, if you are interested in my book, the way to get it right now is not through me, but I have all the links at GematriaEffectNews on the top post for all the different places you can buy it. If you're international, best place to look for international, so that's that, and I think we'll leave it there for tonight. Have a great rest of your evening, Truth Seeker, and if you're in that other part of the world, enjoy your day. And, yeah, again, appreciate all of you. Till next time.